It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's play-by-play coverage is being brought to you by Hagerstown Ford. We deliver to your home. FordofHagerstown.com. Panhandle Dumpsters, because you have a choice. PanhandleDumpsters.com. The Mirius Group. Start planning for a brilliant future. The Joe Ferretti Law Office in downtown Martinsburg, delivering first-rate service and results for our clients. Green Tree Realty, a great place to call home. Jackie Lewis Broker. GreenTreeRealty.com. Mike Folk for Governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible. FolkForWV.com. And by Smallwood and Small, an Erie affiliate. Total Insurance Solutions. Standing by is our TV10 broadcast team. So let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
Hubert Jack Stadium. We are in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania, where it's a Thursday night primetime edition of NCAA Division II football as the Bald Eagles of Lock Haven take on your Shepherd University Rams. For TV10 Sports, along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Caleb Valero, our engineer at the studio, thanks to John Alderton and Eric Sterick, who are running cameras and working our on-site production for tonight's primetime matchup. Well, Matt, it's been a very short week for both of these teams who are looking to bounce back from tough losses last week, and adding to the challenge already of the short week, we now have a matchup, it appears, a battle of backup quarterbacks.
And not only is it a battle of backup quarterbacks, but you're talking about battles of true freshman backup quarterbacks. And in the case of the Bald Eagles of Lock Haven, you're talking about a true freshman third-string quarterback who has doubled as their starting punter this year. So this is a Thursday night game, and obviously these injuries, from what we've heard, probably wouldn't have allowed these players to play on Saturday regardless, but the short week doesn't help that at all, and trying to implement the offenses and get those first-team reps that, especially look at the third-string quarterback, or that has jumped up to the first-string, Gage Ocker. That doesn't give you a lot of time with those number one guys. And when you're a third-string quarterback, you're not getting too many number one reps in practice. Those are going to be held for the number one and number two quarterbacks on the depth chart. So it should be an interesting game just watching what these young guys can do leading their offenses on the field.
Well, similar numbers, if you will. Gage Ocker came in last week and threw one pass. It was an incomplete pass as Lock Haven suffered a loss last week at the hands of East Stroudsburg, 63-14. Meanwhile, Shepherd falling 34-27 at home against Kutztown in a game in which the Rams again gave up a late score and ultimately lost in that one. And by the end of the game, the starting quarterback Tyson Bagent out with a shoulder injury. Stepping in was Christian Etchison, and he threw one pass. He did complete it, but only for 1 yard, as that was the time when the Rams were just trying to do the little hook and lateral play and see if they could make some kind of magic happen.
Well, Matt, what does that tell you? That right now he's coming in with a 100% completion percentage. I'm not sure that goes in the stat book like that, because you probably have to have X number amount of attempts or completions in order for that to count. But, hey, we'll see what he can do. A young guy that probably wasn't anticipating getting this opportunity. But when you're the number two quarterback in the depth chart, coaches say it all the time, announcers say it all the time, you're one play away. And that one play happened last week. And hopefully Tyson Bagent isn't out for too long, because right now, while you're excited, you're looking forward to see what Etchison can do. You're talking about Tyson Bagent coming in, leading the nation in a whole lot of offensive categories, and leading this Ram offense in a whole lot of offensive categories. So you want Bagent back as soon as possible.
Yeah, Bagent has thrown for 1,575 yards, completing 71% of his passes, has thrown for 13 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, and as you said, leading the nation in several of those categories. And when you break it down, think of this. Bagent in 14 starts in a Ram uniform is already 5th on the all-time completion chart at 390, 10th in attempts at 580, 7th in yards at 4,604, and 5th in TD passes at 42. He's gotten off to a very good collegiate start.
Yeah, 4 games into his sophomore year. That is not too bad at all. I think anybody that has a true freshman quarterback coming into their sophomore year would take that any day of the week and twice on Sunday, especially when you look at the talent that Shepherd's had at quarterback over the past couple of decades.
Well, for both of these teams, this is a huge game. Let's look at how they have reached this point. We'll start with our Shepherd Rams. We all know about that home loss in the final minute and 10 seconds. It was about 1:07 when Ohio Dominican scored and went on for a 24-21 victory. The Rams then went on the road back-to-back weeks, scored a 22-17 win at Mercyhurst and a 40-24 victory at Clarion. And then, Matt, last week against Kutztown, it looked like they were ready to just keep it rolling. An early 14-0 lead, but in the end, Kutztown came back. They got the touchdown with only 13 seconds left and won 34-27. The Rams easily could be a 4-0 football team with the talent that they have, but too many mistakes.
If at the collegiate level it was 12-minute quarters like it is in high school, Shepherd would be 4-0 right now easily. But that's just not the way this game goes. You got to play 60 minutes of complete football, and in the two losses this year for Shepherd, and you can even look at that win against Mercyhurst, they did not put together 60 minutes of football. It was a good first quarter, and I'll even give you first half for the most part. But in the second half, the offense just struggled to capitalize on good field position and really struggling inside that 35-yard line, which you would call the scoring territory of the field. And when you look at that Clarion game, they played well. They put up big numbers. But at the same time, you still in that fourth quarter didn't get the feeling like in Shepherd teams of old that they were truly crushing the windpipe, if you will. You could tell that the foot was on the neck, but not quite crushing the windpipe.
Well, you say fourth quarter, scoring in the fourth quarter through the first four games. Shepherd has put just 13 points on the board in that fourth quarter while giving up 42, and that's not usually what we see with Ram football. Meanwhile, for Lock Haven, after starting the season right here on a Thursday night with a 57-13 win over Lincoln, they went on the road back-to-back weeks, falling 48-20 at Clarion and 77-14 against nationally ranked IUP last weekend, right back here again at Hubert Jack Stadium, a 63-14 setback at the hands of East Stroudsburg. And battling with a lot of injuries, you know this team would love to be able to get a home win in prime time against a good Rams team.
Yeah, and looking at the Lock Haven schedule, this would be a good win for them, and it should be a competitive game for them next week as they travel to Millersville. And Shepherd, you can say the same thing. This is a game that I think a lot of people are going to favor Shepherd in just based on how the season has gone. And they have another good opportunity at home next week to get a win over a Shippensburg team that has been struggling this year. I think it's one of the surprises in a bad way of the PSAC this year. And so this will be a good two-game stretch for Shepherd if they can get two wins, because it doesn't get any easier in week 3 from now, which is at home against Westchester.
So Lock Haven coming in at 1-3, Shepherd 2-2, both 0-1 in the PSAC East. One of these teams going to get that all-important win, their first win in divisional play here tonight. Well, our pregame show is brought to you by Brown's Funeral Homes in Martinsburg, Inwood, Charlestown, Ranson, Robert Fields and Sons, a family-owned full-service funeral home proudly serving the area since 1880. When we come back, we'll go inside the locker room. Matt had a chance to talk with head coach Ernie McCook. We'll have that conversation when we return. It is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
Prepare for what's next, or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Welcome back into the Brown Funeral Home pregame show. It's time to go inside the locker room with Shepherd Ram head coach Ernie McCook. This segment brought to you by Parsons Ford. Visit them on Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg or see a full list of their inventory at parsonsfordofmartinsburg.com. Coach, another tough one last week. What did you see in your team against Kutztown?
Well, I see a lot of great guys competed for the entire football game. Obviously, it didn't end the way we wanted to. Kutztown's a really good football team. We can't make the mistakes we make against good teams and can think we can win. So we've got to shore some things up as a program, things we're working on as a staff, as a team, and just kind of overcome this, which was a very difficult loss.
With that being said, it's got to be somewhat reassuring in a way to look at those two losses and say, you're right there. You're a couple plays away from being perfect on the season.
Well, that's not a bad way to look at it, but you have to get it done. You have to finish the games, and you have to play for the entire 4 quarters, and that's what we have to be. That's the mindset we have to have. That's what we have to do as a program.
Obviously, one of the big stories in that game was late in the game, quarterback Tyson Bajent going down with what looked to be somewhat of a shoulder injury. Any timetable on when he's going to return?
He's been going through treatment, and he's been mentally in the game. We're preparing the game plan for him, but we will make a game time decision on whether he plays or not.
Something else that's been pretty consistent through the first couple of weeks of the season is running the football for you guys. What is it this year that it just hasn't come as easily as it has in years past?
Well, we've got to be better at that. That's an area that we have to improve upon as a program. And we're Shepherd University, and we're running the football was the standard that was set. We have to be better there, and we're working our butts off to become better and more efficient at running the football.
Lock Haven coming up on a Thursday night. What do you see in Lock Haven?
A gritty football team that's going to compete. They're going to throw all their chips on the table. They're going to probably play really hard. They're going to be a difficult team to handle on the road on a short week. They've got the advantage of being at home. So we're gonna have our hands full. We're preparing like we know we're going to be in a dogfight, and we have to execute in all 3 phases. I think we do that, and good things will happen for us.
All right, I got to ask you, since I know this is one of your favorite quotes of all time. Coach Cater was not a fan of Thursday night football games. What are your feelings on playing on a Thursday night?
I am 100% comfortable playing on a Thursday night. I think it's exciting for our kids, which is kind of a fun deal. It's different. We're the only show going on at that time, so I think our guys enjoy it. I think and it gives us some different advantages going into afterwards.
There's our Inside the Locker Room segment with Shepherd Ram head coach Ernie McCook. Again, it was brought to you by Parsons Ford. Visit them on Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg or see a full list of inventory at parsonsfordofmartinsburg.com. We'll be back with more of the Brown Funeral Home pregame show next. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday. I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
And we welcome you back into the Brown Funeral Home pregame show. It's time to go between the hash marks. This week we're going with one of the big men in the trenches, Evan Ostro, a longtime offensive lineman here at Shepherd, a graduate student, right?
Yes, sir.
So it doesn't just seem like you've been here forever. You've been around this campus for almost as long as anybody else has?
Nah, I really have been. I have been. It has been a long time.
Just talk to us about this season so far. What have you seen from this team, and how has it grown from the growing pains you guys obviously saw last year, especially on that offensive side of the football?
Yeah, well, we started out as a young team last year, so we were looking to get a quick start this year. All of our young guys that had a year of experience in with them. We have a pretty old O-line veteran group together, so we like having those guys working together.
How have you seen the overall level of competition differ from your many years in the Mountain East Conference to so far 4 games in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference?
Well, so far all 4 games, they've all been real competitive, almost coming down to the last drive in at least 3 of them. So the amount of competitiveness is definitely much higher than what we've seen in the Mountain East.
When you have a quarterback like Tyson Bagent that isn't just laying it up within the conference, but really a nationwide at high passing numbers, how much pride do you take in that as an offensive lineman, knowing that you're a little part of that, giving that pass protection?
Yeah, we take a lot of pride of that, especially since I believe we're second in the conference in giving up sacks, and we actually think that those sacks we shouldn't even have given up in the first place. So we feel like we'll be able to keep moving, and we take a lot of pride in where he stands right now.
How do you approach a Thursday night game? You excited for it? Would you rather play on a college football Saturday?
I'm definitely excited for it. It's tough, though, because it's a quick turnaround. A lot less days to prepare and get ready for it. It's tough on our bodies, but, yeah, we're definitely excited to play. It's a little different, so we'll see the atmosphere Thursday night.
What do you see in the Lock Haven defensive line through film so far?
They're pretty solid. They run a lot of stuff that our defense runs that we've seen all throughout camp, all throughout the season, so we feel like we're pretty prepared for them.
Offensive lineman Evan Ostro on our Between the Hash Marks segments. Coming up next, we'll talk to Hassan Marshall of the linebacking corps. Welcome back into the Between the Hash Marks segment. It's time to talk with linebacker Hassan Marshall. Hassan, a great year for you so far, really breakout year for you so far. What has been the difference in this, your senior season?
Just the way our team has been coming together. We've been really playing as a team, putting our best foot forward. Everybody has been, working together. Everybody's getting the calls, making plays, making things happen.
What is it like playing underneath Josh Klein? Obviously a guy who's been here since the 90s, but has learned under some of the best defensive minds in Division II and Division I at one point. How nice is it playing under a defensive coordinator like that?
He's a really good coach. He's a great coach, great person. He's always making sure everybody's, getting things done, getting things right. And he always giving the calls. He gives great calls so to make us. So he's the one on the sideline helping us get everything done. And when he gives out the call, we execute it, and then that's how we make things happen.
A defensive group this year that was relatively young coming into this season, but a lot of experience in that youth. How have you seen that progress even more as the season's going on this year?
Yeah, so we feel as though we're only as strong as our weakest link. So all the freshmen that came in, they're all playing their parts. They're all doing really good. We have a couple starting freshmen like Corey Shell. They're all doing really good, making plays and making us a sound defense.
Lock Haven coming up on Thursday. What do you see in them offensively?
They're a great offense, and we're going to have, read our keys, make sure we execute everything and play as a team because they're a very good offense and they can move the ball.
Obviously, it's a little different this week, a short week, a Thursday night game. Are you excited for a Thursday night action?
Yes, it's actually the first Thursday night game, so I am pretty excited. I'm pretty excited. It's a little different. It's going to be a little different, so I'm ready for it, though. So, yeah.
With 2 losses on the season already now, how much pressure has been added that you guys got to have an extremely strong back half of the season?
We're not worried about it. We try to forget the bad things and, just keep moving forward. So we're looking at this with a clear view, and we just plan to win every game from here on out.
Hassan Marshall in our In Between the Hash Marks segment. That's going to wrap up this segment. We'll be back with more of the Brown Funeral Home pregame show next. This is Shepherd Ram Football on TV 10.
For over 36 years, Green Tree Realty has been helping the Shepherdstown community find a place to call home. Our friendly team is ready to help you navigate the market and is your trusted resource, complete with a wealth of experience and local knowledge. For those looking to buy land, commercial property, or a home, we'll help you find the perfect fit. From staging and negotiations to closing and beyond, we're with you every step of the way.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
Hello, I'm Michael Falk, a lifelong resident of West Virginia, husband and father. I worked my way through school and life with honesty, hard work, and determination. These principles have served me well in athletics, education, farming, and aviation, and have carried me through years of fighting for a more accountable government at the local and state level. These same core principles will allow me to serve you well in Charleston. I believe true leadership is sticking your neck out for right, even when it goes against the establishment. You can help me put principle over politics and beat the odds one more time.
We welcome you once again to Hubert Jack Stadium in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. We get ready for tonight's matchup between the Bald Eagles and your Shepherd University Rams. Our Browns Funeral Home pregame show continues as we look at keys to the game. They're brought to you by Green Tree Realty in Shepherdstown. Let Jackie Lewis hand you the keys to your next home. Her office located at 138 East German Street. Find her online at greentreerealty.com or phone 304-876-3737. Matt, let's start with the visitors, the Shepherd Rams. Keys for them in this one.
The Rams need to run the football. Right now, just 100-yard rushing game, and that was week 1 against Ohio Dominican, and they barely got into triple digits. I believe 101 was the final total in that one. So they need to run the ball very well, and that takes a lot of the pressure off true freshman backup quarterback Christian Etchison. So I think that is the key for them today. And for Lock Haven, I think they need to continue to run the football the way they have. You're looking at 168 yards a game on the ground, and Shepherd's been very good against teams that have run the ball well. They've faced a team that's run for at least 150 yards a game in each of their first 4 games, so this is no different. And when you're talking about a third-string quarterback, then running the football just becomes that much more important. So for both teams, I think it's the same. Run the football, establish the ground game, and it's looking like later in the game we're going to be getting some rain here, so you're going to need to establish the ground game because you don't want true freshman backup quarterbacks having to rely on their arm with a wet football in a damp night.
Well, then let's look at the rushing defenses, and for Lock Haven giving up just about 173 yards a game on the ground, while that Ram defense giving up only 76 yards a game on the ground. So the Rams have the advantage on that side of the football when it comes to trying to slow down the ground attack. We'll see which one is able to, get the job done today. Keys to the game brought to you by Green Tree Realty in Shepherdstown. Let Jackie Lewis hand you the keys to your next home. Her office at 138 East German Street. Go online to greentreerealty.com or phone 304-876-3737. Matt, one more quick note. Of course, we've got Ernie McCook in his second year as the head coach, longtime assistant for the Shepherd University Rams. But meanwhile, it's a coach that has some knowledge of Shepherd, considering this is the first time these two programs have met. Dave Tainer is from Urbana in Ohio, a 1999 graduate, and actually coached there before coming here.
Yeah, so he's got a little bit of knowledge on the Rams. He's going to have more knowledge than anybody from Lock Haven does. This is the first meeting between these two schools, so it should be interesting to see what he remembers from those days, although hasn't seen Coach McCook yet as a head coach, so it should be interesting.
Well, with that, we will take a break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at today's probable starting lineups, get you ready for the opening kick and the play-by-play of Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee-wee to the big boys to the wing T formation. A hearty meal of 12 pieces for just $9 is just what the boys need to be at their best. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Omaha!
Rock's 12 pieces of chicken, just $9.
You care about your car, so you take it to the best mechanic. You love your dog, so you take it to a vet you trust. So why go with just anyone when it comes to your insurance? With a local Allstate agent, you get expert advice you can trust and the best coverage for you. And because they live in your community, you can always count on them to be there when you need them the most.
Call Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
We welcome you back in to Hubert Jack Stadium. The Lock Haven Marching Band providing our national anthem as we get set for tonight's Thursday night matchup between the Bald Eagles and your Shepherd University Rams.
Matt, this is one of only 2 college football games around the entire country that I could find that are going on tonight. And we'll tell you what that other one is at halftime. I'll give you a scoring update.
We'll give you a hint.
It's Mountain East Conference.
There you go. It's the Rams Old Conference that is playing on a Thursday night. Well, time for us to take a look at the what we call probable starting lineups, brought to you by Panhandle Dumpsters, giving Berkeley County residents options. Get a free garbage can and service for only $23 a month. Local, family-owned. Learn more at panhandledumpsters.com or call 1-833-DUMPSTER. That's 1-833-DUMP-STR. Well, Matt, we call them probable because as we look at these lineups, both of them, the one for Shepherd and the one for Lock Haven, list who normally would be starting quarterbacks and or even second in command, and that will not be the case tonight. Let's begin with the visiting Shepherd Rams. Tyson Bagent normally out there nursing that shoulder injury suffered late in last week's tough loss against Kutztown, and so it will be instead Christian Etchison, 6'4", 210-pound freshman, true freshman out of Westminster, Maryland, who will get the start. He's an athlete. Understand he had a chance to go to college and play lacrosse, but opted to play football at Shepherd, and coming out of Westminster, a program that has been known for slinging the football around. And talking earlier with Chip Ransom, sports information director for Shepherd, hey, go back to Kevin Clancy, who was the quarterback of that 2010 team for Shepherd that made it all the way to a national semifinal. He was a Westminster guy.
And when you look at a guy that was good enough to go play lacrosse in college, that means what? He's a good athlete.
Mm-hmm.
You don't play lacrosse if you're not able to get up and down the field at the high school level. Nonetheless, getting opportunity to play in college, so you know he's going to be an athlete. Let's see how well that athleticism allows him to move the pocket up and down, side to side, and if he decides to tuck it a little bit tonight.
Joining Etchison in the backfield will be Deontay Glover, the running back. Michael McCook is the fullback. Wide receivers Rodney Dorsey and Devin Phelps, while the tight end is DJ Cornish. We'll see a lot of Alex Wetzel out there as well. The tackles are Joey Fisher and Eric Ostro. Keandre Batson and Cole Weaver are the guards, and Evan Ostro is the starting center. Defensively for the Rams, the end positions are David Wilson along with Kyle Smith, and then Ricky Robinson and Scott Dixon will be inside. You're talking about linebackers Corey Shell along with Chris Lane and Hassan Marshall. Chris Jones and Donnell Howard are corners, and it looks like Antonio Fox and Michael Blackman Herbert will be safeties. Now we turn our attention to Lock Haven, and it's going to be Gage Ocker who will get the start in this one. Ocker, a 6'1", 215-pound freshman. He's out of Cedar Crest High School in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. He's been the punter this season, 20 punts for an average of 33.4 yards a kick today. Got to get it done with more than just the foot. He's got to get it done with the arm.
Yeah, and Matt, you look at it, both quarterbacks have combined coming into this game for 2 pass attempts. You don't often see that coming into week 5 of the football season, so you're seeing 2 very green quarterbacks out there today. I'm looking forward to it just because you don't see this matchup all that often in college football.
Well, let's continue in that backfield for Lock Haven as Chance Swartz will be a running back. Wideouts are Brian Green, Justin White, and Cameron Abelos. And the tight end is Jalen Jackson. Isaiah Clark and Garrett Kiefer are tackles. Chris Anderson and Trevor Miller are the guards, and Matt Farr is the center. Defensively, Shahid Salim is a defensive lineman along with Anthony Barber. Tony Dressler and Xavier Cargile are defensive ends. Shane Scott, along with Alex Welch and Cameron Bash, are linebackers. You can't be anything but a linebacker with a last name like Bash, right?
Yeah.
Kahari Whitfield is a safety, while it will be Austin Barber, a defensive back, along with Stevie Pugh and Levi Engel as corners. Starting lineups brought to you by Panhandle Dumpsters in Berkeley County. Find out more online at panhandledumpsters.com. Well, time for us to get this one underway, and we're going to see Gage Ocker first as Lock Haven will get the football. They have the what you would call, I guess, maroon jersey tops, black lettering, a thin white stripe around those numbers. I'm sure on your TV screen they probably look pretty good from our distance. We'll do our best to keep track of who has the football and who's making plays. The Rams with the charcoal gray pants in this one, but they've got the white jersey tops with the traditional dark blue lettering and gold trim. Hayden August Scriven with the kickoff. This one is underway. The return man taking it at the goal line. Along the near side, hash mark sprinting to the sideline out across the 25 and just shy of the 30-yard line. On that return will be Cameron Abelos. He's a 5'7" junior listed as a wideout. Came here from Hudson Valley Community College.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what this Shepherd Ram defense will do in this first series throughout the year so far. They've tended to give up long drives and allow teams to score early in the game, taking away last week. Obviously, that was a great way to start the game. But they tend to see what they do on the first drive, and I think tonight will be no different because of the uniqueness of the quarterback situation, and then make adjustments in the timeout in between the first time they're on the field and the second. And Josh Klein's very good at making those in-game adjustments.
Hocker will get the start at quarterback, and on first down, he'll hand that football off, and there is absolutely no place to go. That was just straight ahead power running for the tailback, and he got stuffed in the hole. And that does look to be our starting tailback, Chance Swartz, and he is the leading rusher, 283 rushing yards on 57 carries. That's an average of 5 yards a carry and 1 touchdown. On a second down and 10, it'll be Ocker keeping it on that quarterback draw. Broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage, bounced it to his right along the near side numbers. He's going to push that football out to about the 36, almost the 37. So Schwartz on that first play did gain a yard out to the 31. And now Ocker, the quarterback, going to pick up just about 5 yards, make it 6 out to the 37, and it's 3rd and 3.
And the quarterback keeper gave a little bit of a fake pitch to the left before taking it to the right.
So a little misdirection. Did pick him up 6 yards, and now a third down opportunity for Lock Haven on third down attempts this season. 46%, very good. In fact, 29 of 63. Back to the ground game, and that is Schwartz slipping through a hole off the right side of the line, and he gets into that secondary, and he's got the first down out beyond the 45 to the 47-yard line, a 10-yard gain.
His initial hole got locked up right at about the 39-yard line, so it looked like he was going to be stopped short. Just made a quick cut back towards the center of the field. It gave him plenty for a first down and more.
On first down and 10 from their own 47, Lock Haven looking to the near sideline, lining up with 3 receivers out to that wide side left as they move from left to right. The Rams with 4 down linemen look like they might be bringing a linebacker. They do come off that left side. That is where the running back goes, and a little bit of an opening off that left side as, again, it looks like Schwartz getting that carry and picking up about 6 or 7 yards.
Right now, if you're Lock Haven and you're a Gage Ocker quarterback, you're loving the way they're moving on the ground. It's not forcing him to drop back to pass early in this one. He's only taken it himself once, so right now the offense moving, I think, the way that Lock Haven wants to early in this one.
Second down and 4 now at that Ram 47-yard line. 3 carries, 17 yards in the early going so far for Schwartz. Hocker out of the gun with a back to his right side. Again, 3 receivers out to that far side. Hand off to Schwartz. He hop steps away from a quick rusher up the middle. Getting into the backfield that time was Juwan Addison, who helped to break up that play. And that gain will be good for, well, nothing. Back to the 47, and it brings up a 3rd down and 4.
And what we learned from Schwartz early in this game is that it's almost never going to be the first hole he sees that he sticks with. He's a guy similar to what you're going to see Ronnie Brown a little bit for Shepherd tonight, where the feet are constantly moving, and he's going to try to find those cutback lanes every time.
Hocker looking to the near sideline. We'll have Schwartz to his left side. 3 receivers here to this wide side right. A lot of the same formation. Reverse pivot for the quarterback. Rolling far side, then throwing. Has an open receiver at the 30-yard line along the far side. Numbers gets down inside the 15, steps through a tackle inside the 10-yard line, and then gets taken down there. That is the tight end, Jalen Jackson. He's 6 foot 225. He's a junior out of Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and he moves that football inside the 10-yard line.
Well, Matt, what made that play was right guard Trevor Miller coming from the backside on that rollout to the left, picking up that defensive end that was coming wide open. If Miller doesn't make that block as the pulling guard, there's no way that Hocker has time to throw that ball. That's a great job by a pulling offensive lineman.
40 yards on that gain, and on 1st and goal, they'll go back to the ground game and trying to find some running room to that left side, getting up in the air and then getting slammed down hard to the ground is Schwartz, and that is a huge tackle for Juwan Addison.
Yeah, Juwan Addison finding his name in the stat category early in this one, and looks like we have a player down for Lock Haven on that far side of the field.
Yeah, that is the running back who really got slammed down hard on his back as he ended up in the air, where he was met by Addison. And Addison, while grabbing him in the air, able to bring him down almost straight on his back. And I got to imagine he's probably sucking for some air right now. Probably had the wind knocked out of him. Hopefully nothing more. Good grief, this Lock Haven team already battling through injury in that backfield as their top 2 quarterbacks are not able to go. Kyle Knight, we understand, in concussion protocol after last week. He's thrown for 625 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 3 picks. And Ethan Persa suffering an injury last week that may very well be a broken bone. We were told he's thrown for 330 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no picks. So on that carry, or the young man that is down, looks to be number 11.
And Brian Green, so the wide receiver, was the one injured right there. Was not Schwartz.
There you go. So the wide receiver suffering that injury, but is okay. That was a gain of a yard. It'll set up a 2nd and goal to go now from the 6-yard line. Keeping the football. Locker gets met at the 5-yard line, bounces, spins, and then backs his way into the end zone, getting a little help from an offensive lineman who pushed him in, and that is Gage Ocker going in for the score, and Lock Haven takes the early lead.
Yeah, and Garrett Kiefer was that offensive lineman, 6'3", 315 pounds, the redshirt sophomore, keeping his quarterback upright and giving him that little shove into the end zone, and a great first drive for Lock Haven. Only to throw the ball once, but the ground game was right there to pick up right where they left off. Again, this is a team averaging 168 yards a game on the ground and showing why on that first drive.
Yeah, they certainly did what they wanted to do in getting that football down the field, and now the extra point attempt, it is up, and it looks that kick is good. Charles Hayes now 13 out of 15 in PATs on this season, and we will step aside as on the opening possession, we've got 10:51 left. Lock Haven gets into the end zone to lead it 7-0.
Hello, I'm Michael Falk, a lifelong resident of West Virginia, husband and father. I worked my way through school and life with honesty, hard work, and determination. These principles have served me well in athletics, education, farming, and aviation, and have carried me through years of fighting for a more accountable government at the local and state level. These same core principles will allow me to serve you well in Charleston. I believe true leadership is sticking your neck out for right, even when it goes against the establishment. You can help me put principle over politics and beat the odds one more time.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood and Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Well, they got that kickoff away pretty quickly after Lock Haven scored on their opening possession. The Rams getting a relatively short return as that football comes out to about the 25-yard line, and that's where Shepherd will have it. Your drive summary, a service of Mike Folk for Governor, former Shepherd Ram, accountable, ethical, responsible. Find out more at Folk, the number 4, WV.com. For Lock Haven, 8 plays, 70 yards, 4 minutes and 2 seconds. 6 yards, the touchdown run for the starting quarterback, Gage Ocker, and that's his first rushing touchdown of the season.
Now we get to see his counterpart, the true freshman. Christian Etchison lines up in the shotgun formation for Shepherd, just his second snap taken of this season.
3 receivers tightly bunched to that right side as the handoff goes to Deontay Glover, finds an opening off that left side of the line, quickly into the secondary, slips a tackle at the 45 down the near side numbers. He's inside the 30, inside the 20, stays in bounds. He's going to go all the way. Are they going to say that he stepped out of bounds? Nope. He does go 75 yards for the Ram touchdown.
Well, that's a good way to start it on the ground for a team that has only reached 100 yards on the ground once this year in Shepherd. A 75-yard run by Deontay Glover, breaking a couple of tackles, showing you not only his speed but his power. And he found another gear late in that play. It looked like he was going to be run down about that 20-yard line, and he found 4th, 5th, 6th gear, whatever it was, but was able to scamper into the end zone for a Shepherd touchdown. Great run by Deontay Glover, the best we've seen of him this year.
Snaps a string of 14 consecutive quarters without a rushing touchdown for this Ram offense. And for Deontay Glover, his longest prior run, 21 yards, 75 on this touchdown run. And Hayden August Scriven now 13 of 15 in PATs. And just like that, we've got a tie ball game. Back in 60, it is 7-7, Shepherd and Lock Haven.
I picked Shepherd University because I'm not just a number.
One of the things that surprised me is how friendly everyone is.
I like being able to walk down the street and have the professors recognize me by name.
I'm constantly learning.
It also has taught me so much about myself and about what I want to do with my future.
The location at Shepherd is amazing.
Cities like Washington, D.C., Baltimore are only about an hour and a half away.
You just got to see it. Once you see it, it just takes your heart.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Now the ensuing kickoff from Hayden August Scriven, taken along the near side at about the 7-yard line. Racing to that far side is Avalos, and he will be tripped up just across the 15 at the 16-yard line, and that is where Lock Haven will have it. Drive summary brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Find out more at Folk, the number 4, WV.com. One play, 75 yards, took only 13 seconds, and Shepherd has tied it. And that run for Deontay Glover, are you ready for this? As long as the total rushing numbers against Mercyhurst and Kutztown, 72 and 71 respectively. At Clarion, 78 total rushing yards, and Glover covers 75 on just that one carry.
And Matt, you mentioned his long coming into the game was 21 yards. The long that Lock Haven had given up coming into this game, 49 yards.
From their own 16-yard line, Lock Haven football. They try to keep it on the ground with some straight-ahead power running, and absolutely no place to go as the tailback gets stuffed in the hole on that carry. Once again was Chance Swartz, 6'2", 215, a junior out of Mifflintown, Pennsylvania. Got back to the line of scrimmage, nothing more.
Yeah, met there by David Wilson, a good wrap-up after he had avoided the first tackle.
Got 6 carries for 18 yards now for the tailback as Ocker wants to throw and has no place to go. Rolling to his right, gets run down by Corey Shell. Shell making the tackle, and right there to help out on that play was David Wilson, the defensive lineman.
Yeah, and Shell doing a very good job of making a name for himself this year early in this season. He's a guy that I don't want to say he wasn't talked about at all in the preseason, but a guy that his name is new to a lot of Ram fans this year and as the season's gone on. So a great start to his season.
Third down and 13 now from their own 13 after that loss of 3 yards, that time for Ocker. 3 receivers out to the left. Here come the Rams on the blitz. An option pitch near side and trying to get to the outside. Nice step back move and into the clear is Schwartz. Schwartz across the midfield stripe with a blocker out in front. It's a foot race down the near sideline. Nobody's going to get him. And on the option, the play will cover 87 yards for a Lock Haven touchdown.
And Matt, that is a play that Ponce de Leon has got to make on the sideline. The running back right near that sideline. Use the sideline as a second defender, and he went too strong when he didn't need to. Just push him out of bounds. Make sure you don't allow that cutback lane. We talked about it. Swartz using that cutback lane an awful lot early on in this ball game. So Ponce de Leon's got to come up with that tackle. But a great run on the end, and looks like we're going to have a run-em-out kind of game today.
And both of these teams getting big early plays, electrifying plays of the game, brought to you by Orsini's Appliance in Martinsburg. Hayes for the extra point attempt. It's up and it is good. We'll take another break with 8 minutes, 54 seconds left in the opening quarter, and Lock Haven leading 14-7.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Now the ensuing kickoff coming down to the Ram return man at the 15-yard line, and that's Ronnie Brown. Brown gets an opening straight up the middle of the field and very quickly darts across that midfield stripe where he's brought down from behind, and the Rams will have great field position at the 48 of Lock Haven. Wow, this may very well be what you just said, Matt, a run-em type of game, a high-scoring type of affair the way it's going early on. That drive summary for Lock Haven, 3 plays, 84 yards in a minute and 30 seconds, but it's an 87-yard touchdown run. Why? Because on second down there was a loss of 3, and on third down and 13 they went to the option pitch, not triple option, but it was an option to the right, and that got them 87 yards for the score.
And Matt, Lock Haven now 3 for 3 on third down. Shepherd coming in, allowing their opponents 38% conversion rate on third down, so well above average early.
Atchison wants to throw on first down, has some time, steps up in the pocket, throws deep over the middle and overshoots the intended target, Dylan Brewer, who had a couple of steps on the defender.
He did. Usually that's the route you see Devin Phelps run. Phelps in the game right now jogging back to that line of scrimmage, but Dylan Brewer had it on the post going right down the middle of the field. But unfortunately, that's what you're going to see in a freshman quarterback. The first time we've really seen him gear up and throw one today. That's the timing that you just don't get if you're a backup quarterback. That's really what you're going to see. Tyson Bajan, I think if he's in there, that's at least a few yards closer. I'm not saying it would have been a completion, but that's just a difference in everyday snaps and a backup quarterback snap. But a great completion here to Brewer.
Yeah, a little run pass option as he put it into the belly of Ty Hebron, then pulled it out at the last second and finds Brewer along the near side down inside the 35. They'll mark him at about the 33-yard line, and that gain's good for 15 and a Ram first down. Nice play that time by Etchison, finding the open receiver. Now 1 of 2 for 15 yards, and the Rams have it first down and 10. Down by a score with 8:11 to play in our opening quarter. On a little bit of an end around, that is Washington getting to the far sideline inside the 10, and he'll get taken down at about the 7-yard line. Jordan Washington taking that one, checking to see if they're going to count that as a pass or a run, the way that one was tapped to him.
And yeah, they've run that play a ton this season. They've had more effectiveness with that play with just a quick pat down misdirection that they've had most of the season running the football directly out of the backfield.
27 yards on that gain, sets up a first down, goal to go at the 6. Back to the ground game and the handoff to Hebron, looking to run to his left and gets caught and brought down just shy of the goal line. That is Kahari Whitfield, a safety, a sophomore out of Reading, Pennsylvania, making that tackle at the 1-yard line after a 5-yard gain.
And Matt, to answer your question, that the last play to Washington will go down as a pass completion because it was technically forward from where the quarterback was.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just wanted to make sure. And so it will bring up a second down, goal to go from the 1. Hebron again out there in that pistol formation behind the quarterback, Etchison in the shotgun. Handoff to Hebron, straight up the middle. He slices through a hole, falling into the end zone for the Shepherd University Ram touchdown.
Yeah, how do you like that? 4 rushing touchdowns on the game total now, 2 for each team. And while you knew that both teams are going to try to rely on the run a little bit more than that, I'm not sure. I expected just about halfway through this first quarter for right now 27 total points, 28 if this can be a good PAT, and all 4 touchdowns coming on the ground.
First rushing touchdown for Hebron on this season. Rams' second leading rusher, 21 carries, 107 yards. That's 5.1 per carry coming in. Able to punch this one in for his first score. And Hayden August Scriven, good with the PAT out of the hold of the Ram punter. And that one up and through. Noah Pohl able to get it down. 7:01 to play here in quarter number 1. Let's take a break. All tied at 14.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
For over 36 years, Green Tree Realty has been helping the Shepherdstown community find a place to call home. Our friendly team is ready to help you navigate the market and is your trusted resource, complete with a wealth of experience and local knowledge. For those looking to buy land, commercial property, or a home, we'll help you find the perfect fit. From staging and negotiations to closing and beyond, we're with you every step of the way.
Hayden August Scriven with a deep kick along the near side, taken by Avalos, who will move to his left, avoids an initial tackle, and then between the hash marks and numbers on that far side, gets flipped up in the air, lands hard on his back at the 30-yard line, and he is still down at the end of that play. Training staff coming out to tend to him. Looks like they'll spot it actually at the 29. That Shepherd Drive summary brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor, the former Ram wide receiver. Find out more about his campaign online at folk4wv.com. 5 plays, 48 yards, 1 minute and 45 seconds. A 1-yard touchdown run for Ty Hebron, his first rushing touchdown of this season. The Rams had 14 consecutive quarters without a rushing touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns in the opening quarter tonight.
All right, Matt, if I were to tell you that Shepherd would have 123 yards total in the game so far and that Lock Haven would have 154 total, and you weren't watching the game, what part of the game would you think it was in?
Oh, probably mid-second quarter at least.
Yeah, not 6:52 remaining in the first quarter. Those are the stats so far. 81 yards rushing for Shepherd on the game so far, 114 for Lock Haven. And receiving yards so far, 42 yards through the air for Shepherd, 40 for Lock Haven. The rain's starting to come down now here.
Yeah, very productive opening quarter on this Thursday night for both teams. I say opening quarter, how about just 8 minutes of play? That was tailback who started as a slot receiver, went back into motion, then set up in the backfield and took that handoff, and going up the middle, picked up just a couple of yards. That's Dante Graham. He's 6 foot 210, a sophomore out of Glen Mills, Pennsylvania. And Graham, right now their third leading rusher, 124 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He did get out to that 35. Well, picked up 6 yards. Got to give him a little more than what I initially thought. They'll look to the near sideline now from their own 35-yard line on a 2nd down and 4. Out of the gun, the snap goes back. Ocker's going to hand it off. That man in motion. Ooh, taking that handoff. Took a big hit, and the football is free. It is still free, and eventually it looks like Ocker is the one to dive on that loose ball, so the quarterback able to get it back. Now from our vantage point, Did not get to see who took that ball as they came in motion and took that little handoff on the jet sweep.
Looked like Dante Graham.
So it was Graham again.
Yeah, it looked like it was Graham on that. Looked like a 26 in the back of that jersey.
So they lined him up in that slot formation and then started him across the field, gave him the football. He got met and taken down very hard on the play, right at the line of scrimmage. So no gain, setting up a 3rd down and 4. And this has been the dangerous play for this Ram defense. This will be the 4th 3rd down that has been faced.
I'm at an injured Ram down on the far side of the field, nowhere near where that last play was. I mean, the ball's at the 35-yard line right now. We have a Ram down at the 15-yard line. Can't get a number on it, but just wondering what that injury is that is so far behind where that line of scrimmage is.
Yeah, I'm not sure at all, as the training staff tending to that injured Ram player. Slowly getting to his feet. That's Shell. Corey Shell, I believe, wearing number 33. The Ram spur linebacker, 6'2", 205. Shell, just a freshman out of Baltimore, Maryland. He is to his feet into that far sideline. Looks like he's okay. Not sure, I'm with you, how he ended up that far away from the play. 3rd down and 4 yards to go for a first. And as I was saying, Lock Haven 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. 3rd and 3, a gain of 10. 3rd and 4, a gain of 40. 3rd and 13, an 87-yard touchdown. Watch out, big things happen on this down. Back to throw, Ocker over the middle, lets it go in behind the intended target. Wanted to get that one to his tight end, Jalen Jackson, who earlier in the game had a grab for 40 yards on a 3rd down play. This one is incomplete, and the punting unit comes on.
And that's not happened too often to Jalen Jackson this year. A wet football. The rain has stopped for the moment, but came down in buckets there for the last about 5 minutes of real time, not game time. But a wet football and a little bit behind on the throw there was Ocker. But Jalen Jackson, 12 receptions, 262 yards, 2 touchdowns on the year, and is averaging about 21 yards a catch as a tight end. Those are good numbers for one of those bigger receivers.
Now Ocker, who is averaging about 33 yards a kick on 20 punts this season, playing quarterback tonight, gets that punt away, and Lewis has it. Started to his left, nice cut back to his right, gets some blocks, has turned the corner. There he goes outside the far numbers down to the 20. It's a foot race to the 10. They can't knock him out of bounds. He's going to go all the way, it looks like, for the score. Yes, it is a punt return touchdown for the Rams, Zane Lewis.
And Zane Lewis going just about 70 yards on that punt return for a touchdown, but went about 125 yards on that, but a flag down on the field at about the 19-yard line.
We'll have to wait and see, but that typically does not bode well for the return team, although perhaps it's something that occurred afterwards, because the Rams are already sending their unit out onto the field, it looks like, for the PAT.
Yeah. And an interesting place, or an interesting spot to throw the flag, considering the play.
They say personal foul, but they said during the return. So how does that then go after the play as opposed to...
Yeah, on the
pardon
team.
me.
Yeah,
Then I missed that.
Haven.
My apologies.
The key is to listen to the official, Matt.
We're
going to work on that.
I saw his lips moving, but I didn't quite hear him. No, okay, there we go.
Yeah,
so
on the kicking team. So that on Lock Haven, who was punting the ball away. As the rain now again starts to fall heavy here at Hubert Jack Stadium.
Hayden August Scriven for the PAT. Snap placement, kick is up. It is good. 4 minutes, 49 seconds to play in quarter number 1. Wow, a lot of scoring already on this Thursday night. We'll take our break with Shepherd now out in front, 21-14.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood and Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
The Shepherd Rams getting a 67-yard punt return touchdown, the official number from Zane Lewis. That came after the 32-yard punt from Ocker. And the Rams take the 21-14 lead. The personal foul penalty giving Hayden August Scriven the opportunity to kick off actually in Lock Haven territory, and he does just what you would expect, drills it into the end zone.
Matt, not quite a drive summary, but you have a scoring summary, right?
Scoring summary, that's probably the best way to say it. We've had a couple of those kind of one-play scenarios so far. Big return as the Rams able to get their first lead of the night. So the defense had a big stop, and then the special teams making Lock Haven pay. And now that Bald Eagle offense takes over at their own 25, their fourth possession of the opening quarter. Handoff to the tailback. Running to his right, kind of had to stutter step behind the line looking for a hole, and again, there was none as the Rams front seven did a really nice job to bottle things up. I believe that Schwartzen it is on the carry. Hard to read those numbers. Really hard to read those numbers. Gain of 1, mark it out to the 26-yard line. And there is our wet friend, Eric Sterick, making his way into the locker room. Well, trying to throw that football is Ocker, and there is no opportunity. Very quickly bottled up, helping to lead the charge. The Rams' David Wilson got some help back there as well. And let's see where they're going to mark the progress. They're going to mark it all the way back at the 17-yard line. So that will be 9 yards on that loss. And it will bring up a 3rd down and 18 yards to go for a first.
And Adamonte Vaught also back in there. That was the help that Eppert got on that sack. So I'm sure each will get credited for half on that.
Huge sack for -9 yards, and now on 3rd and very long. Ocker wants to throw. Flush from the pocket, rolling far side, throws back over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. Once again, trying to get it to his tight end, Jalen Jackson, who he threw to in that last possession on a 3rd down, but could not connect. And I would have unofficially now 1 of 3 passing for 40 yards. That 40-yard completion to Jackson back in the opening scoring drive. The only pass completion so far for Ocker.
And we'll see what Shepherd's offense can do here. Obviously, you're hoping for another return touchdown, but odds are that won't happen as the line is spread out on an interesting punt formation for Lock Haven, and a punt that goes off the side of the foot out of bounds, and Shepherd is going to have phenomenal field position at about the 40-yard line, actually more inside that at about, what, the 36, 37?
37, so you look at a punt that covers only about 20 yards with no return, and with 3:20 to play in quarter number 1, and Shepherd out in front by a 21-14 score. That Ram offense has great field position.
Yeah, they do, and this is a drive for Shepherd that you need to find the end zone to get the 2-touchdown lead in the first quarter of this one. Obviously, everybody's been scoring at will pretty much in this game. But establish the run, get Etchison a little more comfortable. I know with the rain coming down, not the ideal conditions for a true freshman backup quarterback to be getting in a rhythm. But a important drive here is a quick swing pass.
Yep, swing pass on that far side, caught by Dorsey. Good to see the Ram wideout Rodney Dorsey back out there for a 2nd straight week after missing a couple of games after a very solid game number 1. He takes that one, and with blockers out in front, picks up about 6 yards.
And Matt, in years past, there's been 1 or 2 receivers that you've said have really led and carried this receiving core. This year, it's pick your poison on the outside for Shepherd.
Etchison out of the gun, looking over that defense, claps the hands, has the snap, looks near side again, dumps it off, this time hitting the back out of the backfield. That is Glover, and Deontay Glover splits through 2 defenders and picks up a couple of extra yards, mark him down to the 25, a 6-yard gain and another Ram first down.
And Matt, that's an impressive run by Glover, because you could tell he threw the brakes on there and, like you said, split the defenders. But when he stopped completely on that artificial turf on the field, he slid about a yard sideways before being able to make that cut. So a great job by Deontay Glover, able to keep his footing on that.
I'm sure you can see on the TV screen the rain coming down. It has slowed a little bit. It was really hard just a few minutes ago. Wide receiver screen to the far side, trying to get it to Devin Phelps and underthrown. Don't know if that one slipped just a little bit or just didn't get enough on that wide throw. That's the wide side of the field. That's a long throw.
And, Matt, I think they're going to call an incomplete pass on that.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, that was incomplete.
Yeah.
And
wasn't sure whether they were going to call a completed pass.
He went down and tried to get the arms underneath of it, but
and from our angle, it looked like he did.
Well, it would have been a wise decision to let it go either way. Would have lost yardage on the play. As is, it's 2nd and 10 from the 25 of Lock Haven. On the run pass option, it's a throw near side, caught by Dylan Brewer, gang tackled at about the 12-yard line. That gain will be good for 13, another Ram first down.
And a good job by Etchison staying in the pocket there. Took a shot as he was letting that ball go on the completion of Dylan Brewer, but a good job staying in there, keeping his feet and his shoulders square, and making the on-target throw.
How about Dylan Brewer? Already a couple of catches in this one. As he come on in the last few games, he's now the leading Ram receiver, 37 catches, 420 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. Turning the corner on this near side, that is Deontay Glover. Did he get into the end zone? No, they'll say he stepped out at about the 1 yard line, or really inside of the 1.
And from our angle, I thought he may have just nicked the inside of the pylon going in. But they're going to say he stepped out just before it, not much before, based on where our official's standing. He's inside the 1.
So inside of the 1 yard line now, it will be a 1st and goal coming for the Rams. And it will be Deontay Glover remaining in the backfield. Officially give him 11 yards on that carry. He'll take the handoff again. Met right at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards and taken down on the play. Good push at that time. And on that charge, one of the linebackers, Alex Welch, goes 6 foot 235 out of Hughesville, Pennsylvania. Might actually be a little bit of a loss on that one. Yeah, loss of a yard. Back to the 2. 2nd down goal to go. 8th play of the possession.
Yeah, and a good push by that front 7 of Lock Haven.
Pistol formation again. Again, the handoff going to Glover, pushing his way forward towards the goal line. Again, gets driven backwards and taken down without getting into the end zone. He does get back down close to the goal line. One more time, there was a 5-7. That's Alex Welch, and also Xavier Cargile, a defensive end, helping on that one. So -1, +1, and it becomes 3rd down and goal to go from inside the 1 yard line. Shepard stays in the pistol formation. Again, they gave to Deontay Glover, and he steps into the end zone for the Shepard Ram touchdown.
Yeah, the first 2 runs at the goal line, you could tell were just straight, really quarterback sneak type blocks, where it was just a straight push from the offensive line. And that was the first 2. That 3rd down run, you could see the call by offensive coordinator Ty Hyatt was to move those linemen a little bit and try to create a hole off tackle. And that's just what you saw right there. Good job by those big guys up front. And really, both. That front 7 for Lock Haven able to stop Shepard on 2 goal-to-go situations.
Hayden August Scriven, 2 for 2 in PATs, make it 3 for 3 in PATs already today. Looking to stay perfect and able to punch that one up and through. And it looks like 30 seconds remain on our first quarter clock. We take a 60-second break with Shepard now out in front, 28-14.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
Well, the ensuing kickoff and the return man along the near side hit across the 30, spun, and eventually goes down out close to the 36-yard line. And on that return, Christian Drayton III, he's a sophomore wideout out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, and Bethlehem Catholic High School. Nice return to help set up Lock Haven with 22 seconds remaining here in quarter number 1. Their last 2 offensive possessions, they've had to punt the football with one of those returned for a touchdown. Shepherd 3 possessions and 3 touchdowns. Their last drive, 9 plays, 37 yards, 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Deontay Glover, his second rushing touchdown of the day. Coming to the near side, Ocker has his feet taken out from underneath of him by Chris Jones. Football bounces free, and it's recovered on the near sideline before bouncing out of bounds. I believe for the Rams, that was Frankie Stevens.
Yeah, number 18, Frankie Stevens, coming up with that one and doing a good job of making sure his entire body was still in bounds while he was picking that ball up. And another good break for the Shepherd Rams. And I'm sure a slick football having to do with that, not playing a lot of quarterback yet this year for Ocker. Also contributing to that fumble, but not what you want if you're Lock Haven after the way you started this football game.
No, and that is going to give the Rams the football at the 41 in Bald Eagle territory. And the Rams, with their last possession, started at the Lock Haven 37. Etchison with a pistol formation awaits that snap. Looks like Brown out there at tailback, and on the play action, Etchison rolling far side. He's going to run at a wide open side of the field and angles out of bounds right at that 35-yard line for a pickup of 6.
There's that athleticism we were wondering if we were going to get to see running the football. You see that waggle to the backside, and you see why he was being recruited as a lacrosse player out of high school. You see the speed and just able to get about half of what he needed for the first down.
So that will bring quarter number 1 to a close as our clock has hit zeros. Back with your second quarter of action after this, with Shepherd out in front of Lock Haven 28-14.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
TV 10 coverage of Shepherd Rams football. Matt Miller, Matt Crawford with you. Caleb Valero at the studio. Eric Sterick and John Alderton running cameras and our on-site production. Eric getting pretty wet. John, hopefully you and the main camera staying pretty dry. 2nd and 4 for the Rams from the 35 of Lock Haven. Shepherd up 28-14. Second quarter starting. Handoff to the tailback, and on that carry is Ronnie Brown. Met in the hole, quickly driven backwards, and the whole pile goes down. They'll mark his forward progress at the 33 for a pickup of 2. First carry for Brown on the evening.
Yeah, and you knew you were going to see him at some point. He just adds that different dynamic than what Ty Hebron and Deontay Glover bring to the table. We talk about it each week, how both of those guys are more between the tackle runners, although we've seen the speed from Deontay Glover in this one, that 75-yard run. But Ronnie Brown going to move those feet and going to be that guy that tries to find the second cutback holes. And just like he did right there, great run up the middle, Ronnie Brown.
Yeah, he needed 2 on that 3rd down and 2, and he is able to pick up far more than that as he takes it down to the 23-yard line. That's a 10-yard gain.
And you saw that quick little cutback right at the end of the run. He had already got the first down. Didn't need to get more yards necessarily, but he saw the little move he could make back to the middle of the field and get those extra couple of yards. Good run by Brown.
It brings up the Rams 1st and 10 at the 23 of Lock Haven. I got Shepherd 2 of 2 now on 3rd down conversions and 8 first downs in this first half. Wetzel, a tight end, goes in motion, sets up off that left side, give again to Brown, turns the corner outside the numbers. Good blocking downfield from Devin Phelps, the wide receiver, giving him a cutback lane inside the 10, and they'll mark him down to about the 6-yard line. That gain good for 17 more and another Ram first down.
And again, the elusiveness a couple different times. First getting the ball on that sweep to the outside and doing a bit of a juke move to the outside to avoid a diving tackler at his legs, then going up the sideline and having that cut back to the inside, along with what you mentioned, great blocking upfield by the wide receivers and the tight ends.
Shepherd with 99 rushing yards in that opening quarter and have kept that going so far here in quarter number 2. 13:20 on a running first half clock. Handoff again to Brown, trying to turn the corner on this right side, sprinting towards the pylon, runs into the back of his own blocker, and he's in there for the Shepherd Ram touchdown. He bounced off of his own blocker a little further to his right and goes in for the 6-yard score.
Not bad running day for the Shepherd University Rams, getting all 3 running backs. A lot of good work so far, and what is only not even 2 minutes into the second quarter, this is the running game that Shepherd needed. We'll see if they can keep this going the entire football game, and they're going to need to with the rain coming down like it is.
And the Rams came in to this game with just 1 rushing touchdown through the first 4 games. And that is now their 4th rushing touchdown here in this first half. For Hayden August Scriven, a low line drive extra point that's up and through. Let's take a break with 13:12 remaining in the first half. A lot of scoring as Shepherd leads Lock Haven 35-14.
We all know what a good time looks like. But what is it made of? We can think of a few things. In this case, it's handcrafted food to gather around, an ever-changing variety of wine, and a Friday night. Do yourself a favor. Experience the good in a good time.
Is your dog driving you nuts? Does he have behavioral issues? Is she not listening? It doesn't have to stay that way forever. Hi, I'm Julie.
And I'm Josh. We own and operate Julie's Canine Academy, a family dog training business.
You are not alone, and there is hope for you and your dog. With the right training and right approach, we can help with any problem. We provide total off-leash training on our 6 acres of dog paradise in Falling Waters. Visit juliescanineacademy.com. That's Julie's, K with the number 9, academy.com.
Any dog, any breed, any problem.
Hayden August Scriven tees it up at the 35 to our left. Gets ready to approach with the kickoff following the Ram scoring drive. We'll give you the summary in just a moment. Kickoff, nice high, deep end-over-end kick that's going to go into and out of the back of the end zone. It'll be the Bald Eagles football at their own 25. For the Rams, a 5-play, 41-yard drive in 2 minutes and 2 seconds. 6 yards on the touchdown scamper for Ronnie Brown. His first rushing touchdown of the season. Add that with a couple of rushing touchdowns for Deontay Glover. A score from a yard out for Ty Hebron. And a 67-yard punt return for the Rams' Zane Lewis. And that has Shepherd with 35 points on the board right now, leading 35-14. And Matt, this Lock Haven offense has to find a way to get something going again. Scored on their first 2 possessions, but the last 3 possessions, a couple of punts and a fumble.
And this just shows you how good of an in-game adjuster Josh Klein is, the defensive coordinator for the Shepherd Rams. We've seen this week in and week out so far, him just wait and see rather than try to over-plan coming into game week. They'll get a general idea of what they want to do and adjust it in the game after the first couple of possessions. It really is a great job by the defense and Josh Klein.
Pistol formation as Acker hands it off, and the tailback off the right side of the line with a nice gain of about 6 or 7 yards. On that carry is once again Chance Swartz, the 6'2", 215-pound junior, their leading rusher, and on the day now has 9 carries. They set it down out close to the 33-yard line, so that's a pickup of 8. We'll call it 2nd down and 2, and that would have Schwartz now looking at about, better than 100 yards in this ball game. 104 yards on 9 carries. On a 2nd down and short, Lock Haven looking to get that one with a burst up the middle, but Shepherd able to quickly close that hole. Seemed to be on that tackle, Nasheed Bridgman, bringing Schwartz down for no gain on the play. 3rd down and 2. 3 of 5 so far on 3rd down conversions for Lock Haven. Empty backfield now for Ocker as he awaits the snap back. Now looks to the near sideline. We had a Ram defender on that far side. Moved, but apparently did not get into that neutral zone. And on 3rd down and 2, Ocker has that play. Down to 2 on that play clock, and Ocker's going to keep it. Slips a tackle at the line of scrimmage. He's got the first down. Gets through another tackle out beyond the 40 and picks up about 3 more yards as he gets out to that 45-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain and a first down.
Good block up front by the offensive lineman. They also did a good job of sending a couple of blockers with Schwartz towards this near side, drawing a couple of Ram defenders on this near side of the field, including some linebackers, kind of really drawing that read option play up very, very well. Great run by Ocker.
And they get to the football very quickly, trying to control that tempo. Did not snap it, so not running hurry up, but being right on top of the football, making that Ram defense wait now on 1st and 10 from their own 45. Little fake on that pitch to the left. Ocker again wants to keep it. Wow, he gets hit, driven sideways, eventually driven backwards, and they'll give him 2 yards out to the 47.
Yeah, saw Scott Dixon in there as one of the defenders and a whole host of other blue and gold helmets in there, and a good job by the big man up front.
7 carries, 20 yards unofficially for Ocker in this one. Again, not the starting quarterback. In fact, 3rd on that depth chart, but their top 2 quarterbacks, Kyle Knight and Ethan Persa, both injured and unable to go this evening. Likewise for the Shepherd Rams, no Tyson Bagent this evening after suffering that shoulder injury last week. A little counter give to Schwartz, who will get back to the line of scrimmage, but again, very quickly snowed under. Ponce de Leon right there. Eppert's in there as well. Looks like Dixon again. And who's the 4th one? That is Addison, Juwan Addison. So 4 Rams right there to help bring him down for no gain. So it will bring up a 3rd down and 8 from their own 47. 4 of 6, though, on 3rd down conversions. So far, Lock Haven's done pretty well. On 3rd down and 8. They'll line up with 2 receivers here to the left, a single receiver out to the right. Reverse pivot and the roll to the near side, and Ocker looking to throw, now going to run with it and will be taken down. It looks like as he had a little second effort at the end of that play, got inside the 45 to the 44, and he does get the first down. He needed 8, and Matt, he picked up about 9.
Yeah, he may not have even been 9. It may have been about 8.5, but a good job. And you love the effort by number 58, Scott Dixon, coming in on the backside of that play, not only getting off his blocks on that front line, but running down that play from the back and trying to meet Antonio Fox at the football. Just not enough real estate for him to get him before the first down marker. But a great effort by Scott Dixon on that line, and really a great effort by him all day. We've called his name a bunch in this first half.
Timeout on the field, giving us a chance to say thanks to our sponsors. Our title sponsor for Shepherd Ram football on TV 10 is Smallwood Small Insurance. Thanks also to Hagerstown Ford, Panhandle Dumpsters, the Mirius Group, and Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy, Joe Ferretti Law Office, Green Tree Realty, and former Shepherd Ram Mike Folk for governor. The timeout on the field for an injured Ram along the near sideline. That's Ricky Robinson wearing that 59 jersey, who was down at the 40-yard line. He's to his feet and walking off under his own power. First down and 10 coming for Lock Haven. Now from that Ram 44-yard line. They scored on their first 2 possessions. On possession number 3, had to punt. It was returned 67 yards for a score by the Rams' Zane Lewis. Next possession, Lock Haven again had to punt, went just 20 yards, and Shepherd with great field position scored. And then, possession number 5, a fumble on the very first play. Shepherd recovered that one, took it in as well. So Lock Haven getting something going on this 6th possession of the first half, as this will be the 7th play of the possession. Quarterback giving that one off and running to the near side and picking up maybe a yard on that one is the wide receiver Cameron Abelos.
Mike Blackman Herbert coming in on that play to stop the runner after just about 1.5 yards, closer to 2 yards. Still going to bring up a 2nd and long. Great job by Blackman Herbert running parallel to the field.
That was a gain for 2, so 2nd down and 8 yards to go for a first. Three receivers out to that wide side right with a couple of slots. Hawker wants to throw. Left-hand quarterback throwing to that far side, and that pass is incomplete. And Antonio Fox probably going to get called for a hold, perhaps even pass interference, as the pass was intended for Cameron Abelos. Saw the flag come in right at the end of the play, and it looked like Fox had his arms extended just a little bit, meaning I believe he had his hands on the intended receiver. That's a tough throw for the left-handed quarterback rolling that direction.
Yeah, it will be a pass interference rather than a hold.
It looks like it should be the spot of the foul, which is going to move it down to about the 34-yard line. So roughly an 8-yard penalty, and I would have that as the first penalty on Shepherd. Very cleanly played game for both teams. Like to see that, especially on a short week. Sometimes you get a little undisciplined or don't get your feet where you need to be. You get holds and other things.
Before you say that, wait till the second half kicks in and the fatigue really starts to set in from the short week.
1st and 10 now from that Ram 34-yard line. Back to the ground game for Lock Haven. Ball carrier picking up a couple of yards to the right side.
Looked like Scott Dixon again in on the tackle.
Using the binoculars to make sure that was Schwartz on that carry. And it was. He gets down to the 31, so a pickup of about 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 coming. One of the better possessions so far. In fact, it's the longest possession for Lock Haven, who scored on 8 plays on their opening drive. This will be the 9th play of this drive. 8:16 on a running second quarter clock, 35-14. The Shepherd Rams out in front. Hawker out of the gun, taking that snap, fakes the handoff, throws near side and in and out of the hands of the intended target, the slot receiver, dropping that one along the near side hash mark. Intended for Abelos, but he could not handle it.
Yeah, I think that's the case of a wet football, and you have the angle a little bit different from each quarterback, and it's going to come out of each quarterback's hand just a little bit different. So I think you're seeing a bunch of different factors as to why there's been a couple of drops for Lock Haven tonight.
3rd down and 7. 3 receivers left with a single receiver right. Schwartz to the left of the quarterback as Ocker awaits that snap. He's got it. Gives the pitch. Schwartz coming here to the near side. Finds a cutback lane inside the 25 and down to the 24 and made it to the 23-yard line. He's able to pick up 8 yards and another Lock Haven 1st down. I got him 6 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. Shepherd's got to find a way to get off the field on 3rd down. Matt, you go back to last week against Kutztown, and they were 8 of 13 on 3rd down conversions.
Shepherd having some personnel issues getting in. Luckily, Lock Haven, one of those teams that gets to the line, sees what the defense looks like, and then they look back at the sideline and get what they actually want to run. But Shepherd would have been in a whole heap of trouble right there if they went to the line and snapped it quickly.
Pistol formation on 1st and 10 from that Ram 23. Schwartz taking that handoff, gets to the left side and down inside the 15 where he's brought down by the safety, Michael Blackman Herbert. They'll spot it, it looks like, around the 13-yard line. That should be good for a 1st down. Is that a 10-yard gain?
It's pretty darn close. If it's not, I think they're going to bring the chains in.
Hey, you got to like the way that this young man runs the football. Came in with 283 rushing yards on 57 carries, an average of about 5 yards a carry. And here in this game, including the 87-yard touchdown run, I've got him up to about 125 rushing yards after that last 10-yard gain. 14 carries, 125 yards. So the football is at the 13-yard line where it is 1st and 10, and that's the quarterback keeper coming near side, and Ocker getting down to the goal line and driven out of bounds by Chris Jones at the 1-yard line.
I think you could have used an adjective a little bit harder than driven. Good job by Chris
Smash?
Jones. Yeah, asserting his authority on that hit, pushing Gage Ocker out of bounds. But credit the quarterback. He understands that this was unlikely to happen in this season for him to get a start in the game in this many reps. He's taking advantage of it. He's not sliding. He's not trying to avoid hits. He's lowering his shoulder and running the football hard.
Well, he's going to hand it off on a 1st and goal from the 1. And it is a touchdown. That is Schwartz, who was able to get in off the right side of the line. Good job by that offensive line to get that push and allow the opportunity for the running back to get in. That'll be the second rushing touchdown of the day and the third on this season now for Chance Schwartz. So the touchdown drive cuts that deficit down to 15, trying to cut it to 14. Charles Hayes. The snap is back, and that extra point kick is up, and it is through. 6 minutes and 17 seconds remain in our first half, and we take a break with Shepherd in front of Lock Haven, 35-21.
Maytag knows extra dirty clothes need extra cleaning power. That's why the power of the extra power button makes Maytag extra powerful. Wow, dirt doesn't stand a chance against this kind of power. Get a load of this. That laundry is stacked. Not bad, huh? The Maytag extra power button. More muscle to tackle the tough job.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Well, the ensuing kickoff coming down at the far side 10-yard line. The Ram return man quickly racing up the field across the 20 to the 25 and then gets taken down there. And that looked to be Deontay Glover, so the running back there returning kicks. Hey, how about that drive for Lock Haven? Matt Ready, 13 plays, 75 yards, 6 minutes and 50 seconds off the clock, capped by a 1-yard touchdown run for Chance Schwartz.
And, Matt, that's a drive that Lock Haven needed. They moved the ball early in the game very, very well, did whatever they wanted to on the ground. Both teams did, but had sputtered a little bit to close out the first quarter and start the second quarter. That is a drive they needed to get in the end zone and keep it a two-possession game. Let's see what happens here. Quick give to Devin Phelps.
Yeah, that's that touch pass as Phelps, a wide out to the right, came in motion to the left, and on the snap back, Etchison really all he does is touch it. Doesn't really catch it, just kind of tips it to the man going by. That is a pass, and Phelps turning the corner gets out, it looks like, to the 30 for a pickup of 4. So the first time we've seen Phelps be able to get his hands on the football. They got to get him in the end zone. He's got a touchdown catch in each of the first 4 games so far. There's that run pass option and the throw over the middle, and Etchison cannot connect with DJ Cornish as he tried to get it to the big tight end.
Yeah, and it looked like Etchison was expecting Cornish to continue to run on that route, and Cornish just sat down on the curl. At least it's what it looked like from our vantage point right here. So just a miscommunication. That's going to happen in a situation like this.
6 of 9 for 71 yards in the early going. So far, so good for the young quarterback, Christian Etchison. Now from their own 30, the Rams face a 3rd down and 10. Etchison wants to throw, sidesteps a guy in the backfield, dumps it off, intended for Dylan Brewer, but off his hands and incomplete. He took a pretty good hit at the end of the play as well.
Yeah, Brewer took a good hit, and Etchison did a very good job of keeping that play alive. A lot of quarterbacks would have gotten sacked initially right there. He did a good job of taking about a half step back and pushing off on that back foot to move to more towards that far side of the field and even set up that throw opportunity. Not a lot of quarterbacks are going to be able to do that, but we see the athleticism of Christian Etchison right there.
Well, that is the first time that the Rams have been held on an offensive possession, as they had 4 touchdowns on their first 4 possessions. Now Noah Pohl is out there for the punt, averages 37.2 yards a kick, gets away a nice high spiral. That's going to bounce along the far side at about the 37. Take a nice Ram roll all the way down to that 25-yard line, and the punt will cover 45 yards with no return.
Great punt for Pohl, and at some point soon, he's got to be the special teams player of the week. He has been punting the ball extremely well this year, and unfortunately there's been guys that have somehow had better weeks than he had each of the weeks that he has really just boomed the ball with that right leg. Let's see what Lock Haven can do here on this drive. A great last drive, and we're able to come back out on defense, and I think what helped there was that their defense got a little bit of rest after that 6+ minute drive for Lock Haven. See what they can do here. 5:24 remaining until halftime here in the second quarter. 35-21 is the Ram advantage.
Hocker taking the shotgun snap, hands it off. That's Schwartz turning the corner on this left side across the 30 out to about the 35-yard line. Late penalty marker down on the play after the tackle was made by Ricky Robinson. See what we'll get. That's in the area where you might think of a hold.
Would be a little late to be a hold, and based on where that is, Dante Angus, who's not coming off the field, was back in that area well after the play. Yeah, that's who it's going to be on, a personal foul at the end of that play. And when you look at that, and there's one lone Ram back there at the end of that play, you tend to think that's where that penalty is going, but had to wait and see what the official call was, and I think that's exactly why Angus coming out of the game.
Well, they're going to move it all the way up to the 47 plus 15. I would have just 2 penalties on the Rams for 23 yards so far in this first half. So that was 22 yards total on the gain, 7 on the carry, and then 15 on the penalty. First down and 10. Ocker fakes the pitch, keeps it, looks for running room to the left. There's none. Robinson right there to help put the hit on him. And in there for the Rams as well looked to be Frankie Stevens.
Yeah, Stevens on a name we've called a lot this year, but doing a very good job today. It's not going to show up on the stat page so far in the first half, but it's done a very good job of filling those cutback lanes as a linebacker. That's your big job, is to make sure on a run play and the inside that there's no cutback lanes.
4:27 and counting on this second quarter clock, 35-21. Shepherd with the advantage, Lockhaven with the football, 2nd and 13 from their own 44. Hocker with a quick pitch. Schwartz off that right side, able to get by the initial guys in that backfield and gets into Ram territory to the 49-yard line. So he'll pick up just about 6 yards on that carry, and it brings up a much more manageable 3rd down and 7. And when I say manageable, they've managed 3rd down pretty doggone well, as right now they're 6 of 8 on 3rd down conversion attempts. Hocker right now has an empty backfield. We'll see if that remains. He's got 3 receivers here to the left, 2 to the right. Man comes in motion. That is a handoff, not one of those little touch passes, and that was Schwartz, who had lined up as a slot to the right, came in motion to the left, took the actual handoff and turned it upfield for a gain of just a yard.
It didn't look overly comfortable on that run. He started coming directly towards our location in the press box, towards the Lockhaven side of the field, and then you could tell just didn't really get a comfortable cut back. Again, the turf has got to be pretty wet from the rain that happened in that first quarter, and you could tell he just couldn't get his footing right to go hit that cutback clean hard, but also a good job by Shepherd closing in quickly and getting a lot of heads to the ball.
I have got him at 18 carries in this first half for 140 yards. Schwartz has been the workhorse. Well, on a 4th down and still about 5, the punting unit will come on. The snap is back, and Ocker gets it out of there, but off the side of his foot into that Ram sideline. And let's see where they're going to spot it. It looks like it will be at the Ram 35, and the punt covers only 13 yards with no return.
And the big man, Nasheed Bridgman, back there giving pressure to that punt. You love to see one of those down linemen back getting close to blocking a punt on the way out. Good job by Bridgman. Also a good job by David Wilson, who was back near the punter as well.
Still plenty of time for these Rams. Let's see what they do with 3 timeouts remaining. 2:46 left in our first half. Shepherd in front 35-21, in pretty decent field position at their own 35. Atchison with the pistol formation. Brown behind him, hands it off. Ronnie Brown off the left side, quickly into the secondary, spins away from a tackler, drags another out close to the midfield stripe. They may even give him midfield as that ball was extended just a little bit as he took that last hit. That gained good for 15 yards.
And Matt, this is so refreshing watching Shepherd run the ball like this. We've been waiting for a running game like this all season long. This is getting back to what Shepherd's known for, and that's having a phenomenal ground attack. And we're seeing really the coming out party of Ronnie Brown. He's been in each game so far this season, but we haven't seen the numbers like we have in the game today.
Timeout being taken by the Lockhaven defense. So with 2:21 to play in our first half, we'll take a 30-second break and then return to Hubert Jack Stadium with Shepherd in front of Lockhaven 35-21.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
Well, Matt, here we are back at Hubert Jack Stadium, named for the head coach of the Lock Haven Bald Eagles from 1946 to 1968. Also served as what they say on the website is a wrestling mentor, as opposed to maybe being considered a head coach. That was from 42 to 64. This facility established with the first game being played here in 1975. Nice place to call a game. Well, Ram football out of that defensive timeout for Lock Haven, and the handoff going to Ronnie Brown. Brown stood up as he got to about the 45-yard line in Lock Haven territory, driven sideways and taken down, but a penalty marker has come in on the play. So it's a hold on Shepard. It looks like it will come right near the end of the play.
Yeah, the flag came in at about the 47-yard line, so it was well into that run, so not one immediately off the line of scrimmage.
So they mark it back to the 44. So it came at the 46. That was about 4 yards into that run.
That went for about 4.
So you get the yards there for Brown, and now on the first down and long, the handoff again goes to Brown, and this time absolutely no place for him to go. The Rams snapping that one from their own 44, and he gets just 2 back to the 46.
Yeah, the right side of that offensive line did not get the push they wanted to move upfield and establish that new line of scrimmage. Near side tight end to us, number 87, Brian Walker, doing his best to try to avoid another holding penalty, but that defensive end got into his chest really quick.
Now it looks like we're going to have another timeout on the field. This one going to be taken by Shepard. We'll take another 30-second break and then come back to Lock Haven, where Shepard has the lead, 35-21.
For over 36 years, Green Tree Realty has been helping the Shepherdstown community find a place to call home. Our friendly team is ready to help you navigate the market and is your trusted resource, complete with a wealth of experience and local knowledge. For those looking to buy land, commercial property, or a home, we'll help you find the perfect fit. From staging and negotiations to closing and beyond, we're with you every step of the way.
Well, we thank you for joining us on TV 10 as well as WRNR TV on YouTube, and thank you for chiming in and being part of the conversation there on YouTube. We don't always get that, but occasionally get a chance to see that during the game. I know there's been the request at times for the play or the game clock, play clock type of situation. We're working on it, but a little challenging right now. Well, Etchison wanting to throw on the second down and long as the pocket began to collapse. He saw a little opening to his right and took off with it, and he's going to move that football to about the 47-yard line in Lock Haven territory, so a pickup of about 7 yards, and it brings up a manageable 3rd and 7.
Matt, I think we got to give a shout out because I don't think anybody is watching from a further distance than Gary Miller from Portland, Oregon. So thanks for tuning in, Gary.
From the 47 of Lock Haven, back to the ground game, handoff to Brown. He started to his right, sees a cutback lane to his left. He's got speed and able to turn the corner, getting outside the numbers, inside the 35 and down to about the 33-yard line, and that gain good for 14 and a Ram first down.
And again, you see the speed of Ronnie Brown right there coming inside, almost to the numbers on the near side of the field, and then coming to a complete stop and immediately turning and running another 40 yards sideways. I think we're going to get a false start here, is trying to get that play off quickly. Under 40 seconds now, down to 30.7 by the time that play was a run, but it's going to be a penalty, pushing Shepard back 5 yards.
Yeah, well, wait and see as our head referee gives the indication. Or did the Rams? All right, so because of the penalty and the time on the clock, Shepard will go ahead and burn a timeout as opposed to seeing the 10-second runoff. And this gives us a chance to do Miller time during a TV10 broadcast.
Looking forward to it. What do you got for me, buddy?
We got to talk about this on Miller time briefly tomorrow. That's from 5 to 6 if you want to join us before the pregame for high school football at 6. Martinsburg and Washington kicking off at 7. But I have never understood and do not like in any way, shape, or form where the game of football has gone with running time off the clock because of penalties and injuries inside of a couple of minutes. Look, it's an overreaction to teams trying to fake things to maybe gain a little time, and you get legitimate situations where something happens and teams get penalized in a way they shouldn't. I'm done.
But is there any way to adjust that?
It's got to be.
To me, that's the only quick, cut, and dry solution to it.
Don't worry. If they fake it, they fake it. They're going to get called out for it and ridiculed for it enough anyway, right? From their own 38, Etchison back to throw out of the timeout, deep down the middle, underthrows his intended target, Devin Phelps. A penalty marker comes down, and this may very well be an offensive pass interference penalty on Phelps, as there was pretty good coverage out there from number 17. That is Dimitri Ricks.
And that was a case where Phelps, playing more of a defender there, trying to avoid that safety getting the interception. So that's a penalty that I think head coach Ernie McCook is going to be able to live with.
Yeah, you give yourself still an opportunity with the football with 23 ticks left in this first half. Shepherd already in front 35-21. That'll be minus 15 on the pass interference penalty. I would have that now as 5 penalties, 43 yards unofficially for Shepherd. Wowzer, going to move it all the way back to that Ram 47-yard line.
And, Matt, I think if you're Shepherd right here, still one timeout, but I think you give it to Ronnie Brown to see if he can possibly break one. But now Etchison's going to drop back, fumble on the play. I think he does fall on it, but that was a dangerous fumble right there. If it goes to Lockhaven, would have given them the football in Shepherd territory. Still 2 timeouts left.
A first down and 30. It is no gain, no loss on the play as Etchison was able to get to that loose football, and it looks like a timeout will be taken with 14.7 seconds left. Lockhaven on the scoreboard listed with no timeouts. The Rams still with 2. So
Shepherd with none, Lockhaven with 2, Matt.
Thank you very much. If I read the scoreboard correctly, I would.
We talked about listening earlier. Now we're going to talk about watching.
We'll work on
reading.
That. We'll work on that at the half.
And I wonder what Coach McCook's got dialed up here, because the clock would have been running there on the fumble. And he called a timeout. It's going to be 2nd down and 30 to go. So you think that he's trying to find some way to get into field goal position and give Hayden August Scrivens an opportunity, because you're too far away with a freshman quarterback here to try any sort of Hail Mary, I would think.
Well, and it's still wet conditions out there, even though it's not raining like it has at times in this first half.
Yeah, so you need timeout. I would have thought he would have just let the clock run there and take a 2-touchdown lead into the half. Let's see what the Rams offense can do here.
Etchison on the play action. Flush from the pocket, rolling near side, looking, going to loft it deep, looking for Devin Phelps, and it's incomplete through the hands of a pair of defenders, including Ricks, who was back there earlier. Also looked like Kahari Whitfield in on that play as well. The incompletion stopping the clock. Still 5 seconds left, and the Rams will get one more chance to throw it.
And right now, this one's going to have to be a play to the end zone.
Yeah.
Just 5.6 seconds left. And it'll be interesting to see. We'll get to see the arm here of Christian Etchison. See what Lockhaven brings in regards to pressure. You saw pressure come and force Etchison to this near side of the football field in front of the Lockhaven sideline on that last play. Let's see how many they bring. Right now, looks like they're going to have 3 linemen. We'll see what they do, and may have make that 4-down lineman. See what they do at the linebacking level. And only 2 men back. Usually you see defenses work more into the prevent style of defense at this portion of the field, in this portion of the game. Right now, just playing a regular 4-3 defense.
A lot of time given before the ball is set and the play clock starts. And the handoff going to Brown off the left side. Brown working his way to the sideline. Stepped out of bounds at about the 38. The clock went down to zeros, but I think they might put a portion of a second back on, or will they?
They should. He stepped out of bounds with about half a second left.
Yeah, I thought so
and
as
Shepherd's
well.
not leaving the field, and I think that's what Coach McCook is talking about. Lock Haven running off the field now is a whistle blowing, and I think they're going to have to come back because there definitely should be a referee waving the back onto the field in the back corner of the end zone.
Yeah.
But there should definitely be a half second to a second on that clock. And it was not fourth down, so Shepherd can have an opportunity here to either kick a long field goal or have another Hail Mary opportunity. Either way, I think you probably have the same odds either way.
Has a gain of 15 yards on that carry.
And I'd take that back. Ronnie Brown didn't get as far up the field as I thought he did. He's only at the 37-yard line, or 38-yard line.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're going to have another Hail Mary opportunity here. Too long to try to kick it. I was thinking he got more inside the 35-yard line. But another Hail Mary opportunity, 1 second put back on that play clock before halftime.
Yeah, you would be talking about 56 or so yards.
August Scriven's got a good leg, but I'm not sure he's ready for that one with no wind behind him.
So Etchison out of the gun, taking the snap, looking to that far side, gives a little pump fake, throws it deep. He's got his man out there, and the catch is made. But Devin Phelps was out of bounds.
What a throw by Etchison. What a great job by Devin Phelps getting behind the defense. But then a good job by the defense making sure that he was pushed out of bounds without causing a penalty. And that's about as close to a Hail Mary at the end of the half as you're going to see without it being converted. Great opportunity for the Shepherd offense.
We have reached the intermission here at Hubert Jackas Stadium with Shepherd out in front of Lock Haven by a 35-21 score. Don't go away. We'll get into our halftime activities after this 2-minute timeout. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood and Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
You care about your car, so you take it to the best mechanic. You love your dog, so you take it to a vet you trust. So why go with just anyone when it comes to your insurance? With a local Allstate agent, you get expert advice you can trust and the best coverage for you. And because they live in your community, you can always count on them to be there when you need them the most.
Call Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Some are dreamers, some are doers, and just a few are both. That's the heartbeat of Shepherd University, a quality education that's within reach. In fact, we're one of the most affordable schools in the nation. Whether you're just starting off or you're ready for a new start, Shepherd University. Don't just dream, do.
We're at the half. Time for a scoring recap, stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division I Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV 10 broadcast team.
What are you talking about?
Everyone trying to make their way into a dry press box here at halftime after a wet first half. And, Matt, it not only rained raindrops, but it rained points in that first half. As you look at the score on the scoreboard, Shepherd out in front 35-21. Our halftime activities being brought to you by WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the best in healthcare close to home. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller, Eric Sterick, and John Alderton running our cameras, and our on-site producers, Caleb Falero, is back at the studio. Matt, look at quarter number 1 at the bottom of our stat sheet, and all of those touchdowns, those points being put on the board, things settled down at least a little bit in the second quarter.
You figured they were going to, because you look at Lock Haven, and they're having a more productive first half points-wise than they had game. coming into this matchup here tonight. 20 points was their high against Clarion. I make that 57 points, but you look at all the losses they've had, and really averaging about 20 points in all of those games. That Lincoln
the three
game,
matchups against PSAC.
that Lincoln game going to be a little bit of an outlier when you look at the season. But for Shepherd, also having a really good game. Their total on their high on the season was 40 points against Clarion, already at 35. So you would expect them to not only get to that number, but run past it in stride of the way they've been doing today. And right now playing a good half of football, and so is Lock Haven. This has been a really good football game, a really good ground and pound football game, and when you have two freshman quarterbacks under center, that was bound to happen.
Well, let's quickly do a recap of the scoring in our first half, and it would be Lock Haven putting the first points on the scoreboard as they would take the game's opening possession. 8 plays, 70 yards in 4 minutes and 9 seconds. The starting quarterback making his first start. His normal position would have been third string in quarterback, but a pair of injured QBs forcing Gage Ocker into action, and he's played well in the first half. A 6-yard touchdown run made it 7-0 Lock Haven. Shepherd then with their first offensive possession, and it didn't take long to tie it up. A 1-play, 13-second drive as Deontay Glover ran 75 yards for the touchdown. It was 7-7, but Lock Haven would not be denied on a 3rd down and 13 from their own 13. Ran a little option right. The pitch going to Chance Schwartz. He goes 87 yards for the touchdown. That was a 3-play, 84-yard drive in 1 minute and 30, and Lock Haven was back in front 14-7. Shepherd would answer on their next possession. A lengthy drive, well, sort of, 5 plays, lengthy considering where we had been, 48 yards in 1 minute and 45 seconds. That was a 1-yard touchdown run for Ty Hebron. That tied it up at 14, and then the Rams took their first lead on a Zane Lewis 67-yard punt return for score. Shepherd in front 21-14. After that punt return, the Rams would get the football back in great field position, putting together an 8-play, 37-yard drive, 2 minutes and 50 seconds off the clock. Deontay Glover went in from a yard out. That made it 28-14 Shepherd. We weren't even out of the first quarter yet.
Nope.
All right, now let's go to quarter number 2, where Ronnie Brown had a 6-yard touchdown run for the Rams. That capped a 5-play, 41-yard drive, 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Shepherd went up 35-14, and then with 6:17 to play in the first half, it was Chance Schwartz going in again for Lock Haven, a 1-yard touchdown run after a big drive. 13 plays, 75 yards, 6 minutes, 55 seconds off the clock, and that got us where we are right now. Shepherd 35, Lock Haven 21.
Yeah, it's been a phenomenal first half of football. Looking forward to seeing what this second half brings. Right now, the weather playing a little bit of a factor, but not as much as I think we were expecting it to. The rain has come, but it's been in spurts. When it's come, it's been severely heavy rain. But for the most part, it's only been for about 10, 15 minutes of actual time. So the ball's a little slick. We've seen a couple of cutbacks that you could tell the runners or the receivers slid trying to get that cutback lane. But I'm looking forward to seeing in this second half if the teams stick to the ground game, which has been working so far, or if they try to utilize these young quarterbacks a little bit more. And you look at the overall passing attempts, we'll get into stats a little bit later, but just 15 passing attempts total between these two teams. It's a really low number for the output that we've seen from Shepherd, and when you look at the total number for Lock Haven this year.
Yeah, both of these teams have come in throwing the football well through the first of 4 games and putting it up quite often, but with the short week of preparation, the fact that each team is playing true freshman backup quarterbacks and the weather conditions put it all together, and we've seen a lot more running in this first half. We'll see if that continues in the second half.
And put it all together, and whoever gets this win is going to go, we got through this one in all of those conditions you just mentioned.
And the good news, playing a Thursday night, while it was a short week this week,
gives you a long week to prepare for your next opponent, which we talked about it earlier, it'll be Millersville coming up next on the road. So you have Lock Haven able to prepare for a road game a little bit longer, and it'll be a so-called rivalry game coming back for Shepherd. And nobody on the team understands that rivalry because they haven't played against Shippensburg, but that was the rivalry back in the day when Shepherd's in the WVIAC. So both of these teams going to get a little bit longer to prepare for a couple of big games coming up.
All right, we are at the half, brought to you by WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the best in healthcare close to home. When we come back, we'll see what else is going on in college football on this Thursday night Division II style, and we'll bring you the schedule for this Saturday's action in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. All of that as we return. Your score at the intermission here at Lock Haven. Shepherd has the lead 35-21.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
He literally saved my life. It's just mind-boggling to me that he was able to do what he did.
We're able to affect much more of a difference for our patients with these resources.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
They treat you great, and they're down to earth in the West Virginia way that all West Virginians treat each other.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee-wee to the big boys to the wing T formation. A hearty meal of 12 pieces for just $9 is just what the boys need to be at their best. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Omaha!
Rock's 12 pieces of chicken, just $9.
Back again here at Hubert Jackett Stadium in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. Beautiful sight for college football. I can only imagine a little bit later on, I'd say in about 2 weeks from now, with the fall foliage and the trees and the hillside that goes across the field. I think Rick Kozlowski from the Journal kind of hit it on the head, a little bit of a reminder of being down at WVU Tech in the old days, or maybe even a little bit like being up on the hill at West Liberty, where you've got that beautiful backdrop right now. We're looking down across, I believe it's a softball field that has the lights on down over the hillside. Bleachers on one side here at this beautiful facility, and of course the new field turf surface.
And to compare it to another stadium, Fairmont State.
There you go.
With the burgundy playing surface, the color's almost identical, and bleachers just on that one side. I don't think the hill is quite as dramatic as at West Liberty.
No, not at all. You kick a football over that high fence, and
so long, see it again.
You'll catch it on the drive home, maybe bouncing still down the hill. But beautiful facility, thanks to Doug Spatafor, who is the sports information director, and all the folks up here who have been so generous to us in helping to get us set up with our broadcast. All right, Matt, you told us earlier in the pregame there are only 2 Division II football games going on tonight. Obviously, this is one of them. What's the other?
Fairmont State at Glenville State in a Mountain East Conference game, 2 of the most storied programs in West Virginia Division II football, and that game got kicked off at 7 p.m. So in the first quarter, no score between those 2 teams. But it's pretty cool to think about that Shepherd's game tonight just one of 2 in all of Division II on this Thursday night, because the Thursday night game in Division II has become so big.
It has.
Not only in this area, but across the country.
Well, and you're talking this Lock Haven University campus, not too far from that of Penn State, and the Nittany Lions have a 12 noon kick at home on Saturday, and so you certainly understand, Fairmont has done that many a times as well in the old Mountain East Conference, being so close to Morgantown and the West Virginia University Mountaineers, so it becomes a nice way for some of the smaller schools to be able to draw a fan base that may also like to go see the bigger guys, if you will, on a given Saturday. What's coming up this Saturday in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference?
This Saturday, October the 5th, a bunch of matchups, which you may have put together considering there's only one tonight. Millersville will be at East Stroudsburg. It's a 12 noon kick. Another 12 noon kick, Edinburgh at Gannon. The last 12 noon kick will be number 13, Slippery Rock, at Mercyhurst. Number 15, Westchester, will be at Shippensburg. That's a 1 o'clock kick. Number 25 at Kutztown. Kutztown getting into the top 25 this week in both the D2Football.com poll and the D2 Football Coaches poll. Looking at those numbers, and we'll give you the top 25 coming up here in just a bit. Seton Hill will be at Clarion for a 2 p.m. kick, and Cal at IUP for a 2 p.m. kick. That looks like that's probably going to be the game of the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. That will be a big one. And as you mentioned, those rankings, Slippery Rock is the highest in the coaches poll. They're at number 10, with Westchester at number 14, IUP at number 19, and as you mentioned, Kutztown coming in at number 24. In the D2Football.com poll, Slippery Rock 3 spots lower at number 13, Westchester 1 spot lower at number 15, IUP a couple of spots lower at number 21, and Kutztown is 1 spot lower at number 25, but pretty good to consider that 4 teams out of the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference right now in the Division II top 25. And for Ram fans, you look at that one and go, Kutztown being there at number 25, a game that Shepherd had every opportunity to win last week and did not end up coming out on top, and the Rams have to be looking, going, you know, we played with a top 25 football team, and we're right there. If we can cut out some mistakes and make a few more plays here or there, you know, this is a very good Ram football team.
And you got to ask, would 3-1 in a win over Kutztown last week have been good enough to get Shepherd in? I don't think so personally, just because of the loss at the beginning of the season. While it's a quality opponent, it's still a loss, and you see almost purely undefeated teams this early in the season. But I think they're receiving votes.
There you go.
They're definitely receiving votes to get that win last week, but you can't focus on what could have happened. You got to focus on getting this win and then going home and trying to get a win at home. 0-2 on the season at home this year,
and
Matt.
3 straight home losses dating back to the season finale last year against UVA Wise.
We're Shepherd. That's not supposed to happen.
Not at all. Well, let's take care of this one and then get home next Saturday. We will wrap up the WVU Medicine, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Center halftime show with a look at numbers from the first half after this 90-second break at the intermission from here in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania, with Shepherd leading the Bald Eagles 35-21.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Well, time for us to take a look at the numbers here at the half, and our first half stats brought to you by Joe Ferretti Law Office, delivering first-rate service and results for our clients. Phone 304-596-8854 for a free consultation. I've got the team numbers. Matt will have your individual numbers in a moment. Let's start with first downs. Each team with 10 in the first half. Shepherd 191 rushing yards on 19 carries for Lock Haven, 189 yards on 29 carries. carries. Passing yards, 67 for the Rams, 40 for the Bald Eagles. Total plays, Shepherd, 30 plays for 258 yards. Lock Haven, 229 yards on 33 plays. Matt, here's the breakdown. Two teams combined, 48 rushing plays for 380 yards in the first half, 63 total plays for 487 yards in the first half. So times that by 2, and we're looking at possibly 974 yards between these two teams if they can duplicate in the second half what they did in the first.
And we'll see how much that fatigue sets in, if any. We saw that a little bit as the first half started to wind down. See how much they were able to recharge the batteries at halftime in this short week.
A couple of more quick team stats. Penalties, 5 for 56 yards for Shepherd. Just one penalty, 15 yards for Lock Haven. And third down conversions, 3 of 5 for the Rams, 6 of 8 for the Bald Eagles. Shepherd 0 of 1 on fourth down conversions. One more you may be thinking, time of possession, 19 minutes, 15 seconds for Lock Haven. Shepherd had the football just 7 minutes, 59 seconds in the first half.
So what does that tell you? When they scored, it was quick. They were quick bursts, or at least they were moving in big chunks of yards.
All right, you got the individuals.
Individual numbers starting with the visiting Shepherd Rams passing. Christian Etchinson, 5 for 11 in the first half, 67 yards. His long was 27. His receivers, Dylan Brewer, 2 catches, 28 yards. Jordan Washington hauled in 1 reception. That was really more on that quick little touch pass than anything. Rodney Dorsey, 1 reception, 6 yards, along with Deontay Glover. Same stat line, 1 for 6. Rushing the football, Deontay Glover, 87 yards on the ground. And does that concern you a bit at all after his first touch of the game went for 75 yards? Again, we expect to see him a little bit more in this second half, but 5 carries total for 87 yards. Ronnie Brown having a real breakthrough game, 8 carries for 81 yards. He has a touchdown. Glover added 2 touchdowns as well. Ty Hebron, 2 carries, 6 yards, and a score. For Lock Haven, passing. Gage Ocker, just 1 for 4, and that 1 completion was his first pass of the football game to Jalen Jackson. So Jalen Jackson, the only receiver to mention here. Rushing the football, Chance Schwartz, 6 carries, 140 yards, while Ocker, 9 carries for 40 yards. There's your individual stats for this one.
Yeah, a lot of rushing yards. Let's see if it continues as we get into our second half. Getting ready to kick the football away. The kicker for kickoffs is Hunter Hess. He's a 5'10 freshman. Approaches, gets away an end-over-end kick coming down to the Ram return man. The far side 8-yard line. Quickly racing up the middle of the field, getting an opening out beyond the 40. That's Deontay Glover. Takes on a tackler and picks up an extra couple of yards as they'll mark his progress. It looks like at about the 43-yard line.
That's a good way to start for Deontay Glover, getting a good kick return. It's a good way, and a good field position, rather, to start for Shepherd, just 5 yards, and they're in opponent territory. We'll see what the offense can do here.
Shepherd with a 35-21 lead. Opening possession in the second half can be so key. Let's just go back to last week and that matchup against Kutztown as they took the football and the opening possession of the second half and drove 75-80 yards, went in for a score, and really took some momentum in that second half. Now, the Rams did respond, but that really seemed to set the tone for them as ultimately they ended up with a couple of scores in that fourth quarter as they outscored Shepherd 14-3 in that final stanza to go on for that 34-27 victory.
Injured player on the field was number 22, Stevie Pugh, the 5'11", 170-pound senior defensive back from Coatesville, Pennsylvania. Man, I don't know about you, but looking at all these rosters and based on our road trip so far this year, it feels like every time we see a hometown in Pennsylvania, oh, we pass that on 99, or oh, we pass that on 80.
Yeah, or it was 220, 22, something like that. We've been on a bunch of them.
Yeah, we've been on a bunch of them. The west side of Pennsylvania has been favorable to us so far this year.
Well, let's get action underway. The injured player off the field, and on first down, the handoff going to Hebron, and starting left, he found a cutback lane to his right and picks up about 6 yards out to the midfield stripe. Good hard run for Hebron. So after just 2 carries in that first half, he gets the start here in the second half in the backfield. As the Rams again trying to establish that ground game. 191 rushing yards in the first half, by far their best rushing so far. on a 2nd down and 4. That's Hebron again. Wanted to turn the corner on the left side and somehow managed to get away and move forward for what could be a first down. He's down to that 46-yard line, and that will be enough for the first down.
And it looks like we have another injured bald eagle on that far side of the field. And, yeah, I think for Ty Hebron, he put his shoulder down and just kept running, I think, trying to make the tackle. The defense on that side of the field for Lock Haven just kind of threw him down and ended up throwing him forward, stumbled a few steps, and was able to move the chains. It's a good job by Ty Hebron, turning nothing into something and moving the chains. And right now, does it feel like, you looked at the stats from the first and second quarter, does it feel like head coach Ernie McCook, with the way Shepherd's running the football, is going quarter by quarter with a different running back? It was Deontay Glover in that first quarter. Then Ronnie Brown seemed to come in and run the ball well in that second quarter, getting just about the same amount of carries, a few more. And now here to start the second half in the third quarter, it's Deontay Glover. So with the way Shepherd's been running the football, with the lead they have, it seems like offensive coordinator Ty Hyatt and head coach Ernie McCook trying to get each running back some comfort in running the football and hopefully get some positive yards running the football that have been hard to come by this year.
Shahid Salim, a 6', 270-pound freshman defensive lineman from Ballou High School in Washington, D.C., the injured player, to his feet, comes off under his own power. Ram football 1st and 10 from the 46 of Lock Haven. Back on the ground, that give to Deontay Glover, and Glover threw a big hole at the line of scrimmage. Didn't get touched until that secondary, and he's going to pick up 11 yards down to the 35.
Glad I just gave that whole spiel about why Ty Hebron was going to be staying in the game. And there's Deontay Glover on the run. Good run by Glover, right between the tackles, really right between the guards, right up the gut.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like just running back by committee. Whoever seems to have that hot hand, they're going to give him the football. And again, it's Deontay Glover to his left, able to get outside the numbers, angling towards the sideline, and they'll mark him at the, it looks like 27. So 8 yards on that gain, and the Rams will face 2nd and about 2.
That was a good job by Eric Ostro and Cole Weaver on that left side of the offensive line, sealing those defensive ends and defensive tackles on the far side of the field, allowing Deontay Glover to bounce it to the outside. Great job by the big man on the left side.
He's got 106 yards now on 7 carries. It will be 2nd, and, well, they call it 1 as the football set down at about the 26-yard line, and that will be a first down run for the Ram tailback as Deontay Glover straight up the middle gets inside the 25, mark him down to about the 23 for a 3-yard gain. So he's up to 110 yards now on 8 carries, and that is the first 100-yard rushing game on the season for a Ram individual player. From the 23 of Lock Haven, 6th play of this opening possession of the third quarter. The Rams with a 35-21 lead and threatening for more. Hutchison out of the gun, taking that shotgun snap. Controlled roll to the near side, and down he goes. DJ Cornish just could not get the block. And that is a big sack for Tony Dressler, 225, a sophomore out of Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania. Listed as a defensive end, getting in there and making that stop back at about the 27, minus 4 yards.
Now see a couple new receivers coming in. Looks like there's going to be a new slot receiver on this near side coming in, number 20. Michael Freeman. Called his name a couple times this year. Hasn't seen a abundance of playing time. See if he gets some action here as he comes in motion. He will get that football.
Yeah, they do that touch pass, getting it to Freeman, who spins off the initial tackle, spins off another tackler, and then gets driven sideways. Looks like he will pick up the 4 yards that were lost on the prior sack. And the Rams will face a 3rd down and about 10. So put that football back down at the 23-yard line in Lock Haven territory, and let's see what the Rams can do with it. In that first half, 3 of 5 on 3rd down conversions. Would love to keep this drive going all the way to the end zone, but are in field goal range depending on what happens here. Etchison to throw, looking far side, lets it go. Quick out pattern and the catch made by Washington, but stumbling ends up out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. That'll be a gain of 6, not enough for a first.
It was a good throw and a good catch as it looks like the field goal unit's going to come on. That ball maybe just a bit too far out in front of Washington, causing him to stumble just a bit and forcing him to go out of bounds. If he catches that in stride, may be able to turn upfield and get the first down. Still would have been tough, but a good effort by Washington to go get that football. Now it's going to be a field goal attempt for Shepherd to try to put 38 on the board.
It will come, it looks like, from the 24, so a 34-yard field goal attempt from the far side hash mark. Snap placement kick up, and it is good. And Hayden August Scriven now 5 for 5 in field goal attempts on this season, each coming in the 30 to 39-yard category with a long of 38. This one from 34 yards out, giving the Rams a 38-21 lead. We'll take a 30-second timeout and then come back with 10:31 to play in the third. It is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Going once.
Here we go, 38-21. Shepherd out in front after a 9-play, 39-yard drive in 4 minutes and 19 seconds to open this second half. Hayden August Scriven with the 34-yard kick up and through. Rams increase that lead. Now he puts it on the tee at the 35 to our left. Approaches, kick is away. Nice high kick. Return man, looks like Avalos along that far side inside the 5. Started left, turns right, gets picked up and dumped down. Almost a wrestling-esque type of move at the end on that tackle, and Lock Haven will have it at their own 16. By the way, the drive summary is service of former Ram Mike Folk, running for governor. Find out more online at folk4wv.com.
Trayshawn was allowed, just looked it up, number 35 coming in. Make that, Trayshawn Moore coming into making that tackle really uplifted or uprooted rather, that return man and drove him into the ground. Great special teams play, and we talk about it week in, week out. Those special teams plays are what gets you on the field in other situations.
Well, when we have a half the distance to the goal penalty, as there was a penalty against Lock Haven on that play, they were penalized just once for 15 yards in that first half, and that means they are now going to start this first drive of the second half inside their own 10. Mark that football back to about the 8-yard line, and that was an 8-yard penalty. So 2 penalties for 23 yards now on Lock Haven. They'll bring a man in motion, and they fake the handoff to him. And Gage Ocker, the quarterback, keeps it, fumbles it, picked up by the Rams, and it is a Shepherd Ram touchdown. Did not see who came up with that football. Antonio Fox fired up as he heads to the far sideline, helped to put the big hit on the quarterback and knock that football free.
Great job by Shepherd. There was a ball that was fumbled right in the middle of the field and somehow was able to just get kicked around, pushed around. You know what happens at the bottom of those scrums. Anything can happen, and ends up getting into the end zone, and Shepherd picks it up. Great defensive play for the Rams, and now the Shepherd Rams have scored offensively, defensively, and on special teams in this ball game.
The extra point attempts coming for Hayden August Scriven. Out of the hold of the punter. And Pohl is able to get it down after Tyler Stern, the long snapper, gets that snap back. Kick is up, and it is good. And with 10:25 to play in quarter number 3, we'll take a break with Shepherd out in front now, 45-21. All right, Ricky Robinson.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
For over 36 years, Green Tree Realty has been helping the Shepherdstown community find a place to call home. Our friendly team is ready to help you navigate the market and is your trusted resource, complete with a wealth of experience and local knowledge. For those looking to buy land, commercial property, or a home, we'll help you find the perfect fit. From staging and negotiations to closing and beyond, we're with you every step of the way.
Now the ensuing kickoff coming as Hayden August Scriven has it on the tee at the 35-yard line to our left. We'll tell you about that score in just a moment. The ensuing kickoff. Nice high end-over-end kick. Return man's got it at the 2-yard line, coming near side to the 10 into the 15. Little opening to the 20, out across the 25 and the 30. Tripped up and taken down out close to the 32-yard line. Nice return on that kick by Christian Drayton III. The wide receiver had a kick return back in that first half as well for 28 yards. All right, it was Ricky Robinson who created the fumble and Antonio Fox who scooped that fumble up and went 6 yards for the score.
Hence why he was very excited on the sideline. That make a little more sense now?
It does, certainly. I could, again, from our vantage point, hard to tell. Was he the guy that knocked it free? Was he the guy that scooped it up? Well, Fox was the guy that took it in, and he's got a touchdown. Handoff going to Schwartz, met in the backfield as he tried to run left, and that's Jawan Addison who knocks his feet out from underneath of him, and that's a loss of 3.
And Josh Klein dealing up a blitz right there, was anticipating the run, because I think at this point in the game, in the first half, when Gage Ocker only throws the ball 4 times, you can pretty much anticipate run on every play and just make sure the corners and secondary don't let anybody get behind. But it's a great job.
On 2nd down and 13, Rams showing blitz again. Ocker, controlled roll far side. Left-hander lets it go a little behind his intended target. Sliding attempt along the numbers at the far side, 42-yard line. Look like he's trying to get that one to Cameron Avalos. And with the incompletion, that's 5 straight incompletions for Gage Ocker after completing his first pass of the evening for 40 yards.
I'm glad you added that little part at the end, that it wasn't just 5 straight incompletions, but that's not 5 of 6 total on the ball game.
Well, they were 6 of 8 on 3rd down in that first half. Big 3rd down coming here, and the pass near side and a great grab going up to pull that one in. Christian Drayton III. They're going to mark him, it looks like, at about the 43-yard line, and that gain was good for 13, just what they needed, and the first down.
It looked like a toss-up on this near side. Chris Jones right in the area. It looked like it was a fight for the football, but a good job by Drayton, just out muscling Chris Jones a bit and coming down with that football in bounds.
Boy, Drayton with the kick return and now the big catch. Big possession for him. Ocker on the quarterback keeper, coming near side, gets spun around by Ponce de Leon and eventually taken down. Chris Jones in on that tackle, along with the Rams. Gavin Smoot, number 55, former Hedgesville product, helping to make that stop as well, but not until the 47 after a pickup of about 4 yards.
And Mike Blackman-Herbert also coming in, number 7, helping on that tackle.
2nd down and 6 from their own 47. Lock Haven football down 45-21. 8.5 minutes on a running 3rd quarter clock. Ocker out of that gun. 3 receivers to the right, brings a man in motion. That is his tailback. He's going to hand him the football. That's Schwartz coming near side into Ram territory. Chris Jones, the defensive back, helping to force him out of bounds, but they'll mark it at the 46 of the Rams, and that pickup is going to be good for about 7 yards and another Lock Haven first down.
A good job by Chris Jones realizing the size difference. Schwartz coming at him at a full head of steam, 6'2", 215. Chris Jones only running 5'10", 180. Just went immediately low, didn't try to wrap him up high, didn't try to make the big hit. It did what he needed to do to get Schwartz on the ground. A good heads-up play by Chris Jones, the senior.
On first down, Ocker taking that snap, play action pass, slings it near side, catch made right in the flat on this left side and down the sideline. That is the tight end with the reception, Jalen Jackson, moving to about the 41 in Ram territory, so a 5-yard pickup.
And that was just a simple release on that play by Jalen Jackson. Juwan Addison coming on the outside, and after about a 3-second count, may not have even been that long, you just saw Jalen Jackson immediately release. And if you're Juwan Addison, you have a choice, and he was going to try to go get the quarterback based on his inconsistency throwing the football today.
On second down and 5 from the Ram 41, quarterback keeper, and a nice job by Ocker as he ran right up into the back of the line and then felt his way around, took a step to his right, and goes inside that Ram 35 to the 34, 6 yards on the gain.
After that play, it looks like it's going to be a line change at the defensive line. 4 new linemen now in for Shepherd on what's been a pretty substantial drive when you look at length. And again, in that first half, time of possession was crucial for Lock Haven. They won that 20 minutes to 8.
Handoff to Schwartz, able to get around the corner on that right side. Antonio Fox eventually chases him out of bounds, but not until the 20-yard line. A 14-yard gain and another Lock Haven first down. 9th play of this possession coming up. They have done a really good job blending in a couple of passes, some different running plays between quarterback and tailback, and they keep pushing that football towards the goal line. 45-21, Shepherd out in front, 6:30 on a running third quarter clock.
And what's even more impressive is, we talked about at the beginning of this drive, Shepherd knows they're going to run the football. And right now, Lock Haven doing a very good job at just pounding the football, even though Shepherd knows what they're doing.
Well, on first down, the football is free, and it looks like the Rams have it. Oh, it was that run-pass option, and at the last second, it looked like as Ocker was trying to take it out, the ball popped free, and that fumble is grabbed by David Wilson, and Shepherd takes over after the 3rd turnover of the day for Lock Haven. Oh, such a promising drive comes to such a brutal end.
Yeah, and that's the issue with a night like tonight. It's not necessarily raining anymore, but you could tell just still sticky and damp outside, and it's going to happen when you consistently are running the football. The guys up front getting beaten on both sides of that line, defense and offensive, and those guys that are carrying the football are consistently getting that ball tried to pulled out and things like that. So that's going to happen on long drives like that. Great gash up the middle for Shepherd on first down. I believe that's going to move the chains on first down. If not, it's going to be a 2nd and short.
Yeah, they started at their own 17 with that give to Deontay Glover and just straight ahead power running. He will move it out to the 26, so that gain is good for 9 yards. 2nd and 1 coming for the Rams. Glover up to 119 yards unofficially on 9 carries. Going to get the football again and able to make a move now coming near side. He's across that midfield stripe and forced out of bounds along the near sideline at the 37 of Lock Haven.
Yeah, came right up to Austin Barber and just gave him a quick stiff arm with that left hand. Barber, nothing he could do about it, just coming in and stopping completely while Deontay Glover was still moving his feet. A quick stiff arm with that left hand and cutting to the outside. Great run, Deontay Glover. He's having his best game of the season. Had it really in the first half and has just been adding on to it since.
Yeah, how about a gain of 37 yards? I've got him at 156 yards now on 10 carries. Out of the pistol formation, quick pitch now to Ronnie Brown, looking for running room to the left, stops, sidesteps the tackler, and then gets taken down for a loss of about a yard. It looks like they'll set it down. Well, make it a loss of 2 back to the 39, so a 2nd and 12 coming. Good job by the Lock Haven defense, getting out there and preventing any cutback lane. That's what Ronnie Brown is so good at finding. So -2, Brown in that first half, 81 yards on 8 carries. That's his first carry of this second half. On second down and long, Hutchison awaiting that snap. Play action pass, rolls near side, and can he get rid of the football? No, but wow, you see his athleticism, able to turn the corner, outrun a defender, and pick up positive territory down to the 31. What looked like it was going to be a loss on the play turns out to be a gain of 8.
And that's a really heads-up play for a young quarterback. A lot of times you'll see them avoid that first pressure as it's coming from the backside. They'll try to get rid of the football, and that's when you see fumbles happen and young quarterbacks get stripped of the football. A great job realizing he didn't need to force anything at this point in the game. Tucked it, ran, and completed a perfect somersault in full pads on the sideline.
Yeah, had the upper body out over top of that lower body at the end of the play and just finished with a somersault. Nice job. 3rd and 4 now for the Rams from the 31 of the Bald Eagles. Back to throw. Hutchison throws it over the middle, and the pass is bobbled and then caught by Devin Phelps. I think they're going to give him the line of scrimmage, but nothing more, as he bobbled it, got hit, and then driven backwards.
Yeah, I think that ball came in a lot quicker than Phelps was expecting. It looked like, based on the ricochet, it just hit off the center of his shoulder pads in that chest plate and just bounced right out in front of him. He was able to get a hand on it and bring it in, but not much difference of a catch at the line of scrimmage and an incomplete pass other than the stat line.
Now let's see what the Rams will do. I guess a little too far to try the field goal. Just 3 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. The Rams will go for it on a 4th down and 4. Hutchison to throw. Sidesteps the tackler. Pump fakes near side. Still rolling, still rolling. Lets it go. And the catch is made by Dylan Brewer at the 20-yard line. Forced out of bounds at the 18. And Shepherd will get the 1st down.
A great job by Dylan Brewer. Coming on this near side, knowing where the sticks were, a defender draped all over his back and even had a hand in on the football, but Dylan Brewer able to muscle it to his chest, get a foot down inbounds while maintaining possession. That's a great job by Dylan Brewer and a great job by Christian Hutchison avoiding pressure and completing the football for a 1st down.
You could see head coach Dave Tainer saying he was bobbling, and he did juggle it, but gained control before going out of bounds. 1st and 10 from the 18. Back to the ground game with a handoff to Deontay Glover. Took that step to his left, cuts back to his right, and pulls his way down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. That looks like a 10-yard gain, and it's 1st and goal coming.
He lowered his shoulder on a defender to try to gain a few extra yards, and I think the defender got even lower, and it turned into Deontay Glover pushing back up on the defender and staying on his feet, able to gain a few more yards after contact, and that's something he's done very well today too. We've seen the full arsenal of Deontay Glover, putting his shoulder down, running through people, but also we saw the speed on that first 75-yard touchdown run.
Handoff again to Deontay Glover. He started out to his left and then turns upfield. Takes it from the 8 down to about the 3. A 5-yard gain, and it's 2nd and goal coming. Boy, Deontay Glover having himself a game. I got him at 12 carries, 171 yards, couple of touchdowns in that first half. Can he find pay dirt here in this 3rd quarter? Nope. Looks like is he going out or staying in? Stephen Phelps, who went to the far side. So Glover does stay in the backfield. Pistol formation, snap a little low, wide of the quarterback. Hutchison goes down to get it, spins around, and gets taken down for a loss on the play.
Good job by the young quarterback just falling on that football. Didn't try to pick it up, didn't try to make anything happen. Fell on the football immediately and just made sure that inside the red zone, his team maintained possession. But that's going to bump the football back to the 8-yard line. It takes a 3rd and goal from inside the 5 and now makes it what looks like it's going to be a passing down.
Yeah, 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. And Shepherd struggling a bit on 3rd downs tonight, just 3 of 7 as they have gone 0 for 2 on 3rd downs in this second half. We're under a minute to play here in quarter number 3. Out of the gun, Hutchison has Glover to his right side, and now a timeout being taken by the Shepherd Rams and head coach Ernie McCook. Let's take a 30-second break, and then we will return to Lock Haven, Pennsylvania, with Shepherd out in front, 45-21.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood and Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Also follow your social media platforms.
Well, Matt, as we were watching the teams and their warm-ups in our pregame show, looked out across the field and went, wait a minute, I recognize that gentleman standing at the midfield stripe, former Ram head coach, Monty Cater, making the trip.
Yeah, I was told on Wednesday when I went down and got all the pregame interviews and features for the pregame show that Coach Cater would be making the trip, and ironic considering he hates Thursday night football games.
All right, third down, goal to go from the 8. Ram football out of the timeout. Snap is back. Etchison to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Looking, going to run and gets hit, and hit pretty hard. Taken down at the 6-yard line after a pickup of just 2. Now you got to imagine the Rams bring the field goal unit on.
And that is what they're doing right now. Going to try to make it 48-21. And we'll see if they try to get the field. I would assume since everybody's on this end of the field, they'll make sure it's kicked before the end of the third quarter, but wouldn't need to as the game clock was underneath the play clock. But they're going to try to get it in. They don't want to have to switch sides of the field to kick a field goal, then just kick right back off. Now 10 seconds right now on that game clock.
It's going to be set down at the 13, so a 23-yard field goal from just inside that far side hash mark. Kick is up, and it is good. I'll tell you, great season right now going on for Hayden August Scriven, who is now 6 for 6 in field goal attempts this season. First attempt between 20 and 29 yards, and this 23-yarder up and good, and with just 3 seconds, it looks like, left on that third quarter clock. We take a 30-second break and then come back for the kickoff with the Rams out in front now, 48-21.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
He literally saved my life. It's just mind-boggling to me that he was able to do what he did.
We're able to affect much more of a difference for our patients with these resources.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
They treat you great, and they're down to earth in the West Virginia way that all West Virginians treat each other.
The scoring drive summary brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor Accountable, Ethical, Responsible. Learn more at Folk4WV.com. Shepherd with an 11-play, 77-yard drive, 6 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock, capped with a 23-yard field goal for Hayden August Scriven. 48-21 Shepherd. Ensuing kickoff, high, deep, end-over-end kick. Return man has it at the 2-yard line. Out to the 15 and hit and taken down just shy of the 20-yard line. Nice special teams tackle for Delonte Berry, the former Jefferson Cougar linebacker. And once again, that was Christian Drayton III on that return. And that will be the final play of quarter number 3. Again, a 30-second break, then we'll come back with the fourth quarter of action from here at Hubert Jackett Stadium with the Shepherd Rams out in front of Lock Haven, 48-21.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller at the studio. Caleb Valero, thanks to John Alderton running our main camera, and Eric Sterick helping to produce the broadcast, running a camera as well as we bring you Shepherd Ram football on TV 10, quarter number 4 getting started. 48-21 Shepherd. They really owned that third quarter, time of possession and points on the scoreboard, putting 6 on the board and, well, add a defensive touchdown, and that has the Rams in front 48-21. First and 10 from their own 20. Quarterback keeper as Ocker looks for a little running room, just weaving his way up the field for a gain of 3.
And, Matt, I think that's what impressed me most about that third quarter. You saw that there were adjustments made by both teams. And you look at the quick possessions that Shepherd had, it was because Lock Haven's defense allowed it, and Lock Haven made those adjustments. And on the defensive side of the football, forced Shepherd to have those long drives.
Ocker on a play-action pass, letting it go along that far side. And that grab is made, and the receiver out of the backfield, that was Schwartz making his way out beyond the 35.
A man of many talents. Getting that swing pass out of the backfield and moving his way up to move the chains. A good job by Schwartz. He's having a whale of a football game today.
Set it down at the 37, so that was a gain of 14. And Ocker beginning to get his passing numbers up to 72 passing yards. On 1st and 10, they'll go back to that ground game. Looking on the carry, that seemed to be the 2-6 out there again this time. So that's Dante Graham. Graham getting that carry, picking up 3 yards. Graham in that first half had a couple of carries for 6 yards. 2nd down and 7 now from their own 40-yard line. Hawker on a play action, rolling far side, letting that pass go, and that pass is knocked down. Oh, and he got knocked down at the end of the play, and hang on. Penalty markers come flying in on the Rams, Monte Vaught.
And it's going to be roughing the passer, I think, because he went high.
Personal foul, defense, number 43.
Yep, hands to the head. So the personal foul penalty, first penalty of the second half on Shepard, going to lift them to 6 penalties for 71 yards on the game.
And, man, that's unfortunate. I think that was a pump fake by Ocker. I don't think he ever threw that football.
No.
I think that would have gone down as a sack. So that's
an
unfortunate penalty by the Shepard defense.
They do move the football out to the, it's out to the 48-yard line. So 1st down and 10. So, yeah, they did mark it from where he was taken down and now move that football out to the 48. And on 1st down, it is a gain of maybe a yard as Schwartz had that carry. And now, no, I'm sorry, that was Graham again on that carry. Will lose a yard.
And going back to that roughing the passer play, what do you want Vaught to do right there? I get you don't want going high to a quarterback when he's in the pocket, but it looked like Ocker was going to throw the football, so Vaught going up to try to deflect the football. When he's coming down, he's going to make contact with the head. I don't know what you expect the defensive player to do there.
Ocker on the play action, throws along the seam of the far side, and that catch is made, and the receiver getting inside the Ram 35 to about the 34-yard line, driven sideways, never really taken down, and there's his favorite target, the tight end Jalen Jackson.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit in the first half. Jackson coming in, 12 receptions on the year, but he was a guy that was averaging 22 yards a reception with 2 touchdowns on the year, 87 yards a game, and he's living up to those numbers so far in this one.
19 yards on that pass completion, 16 first downs for this Lock Haven offense tonight. On 1st down from the 34 of the Rams, back to the ground game. Schwartz is out there. He finds open territory inside the 25 to the 24. That should be a 10-yard gain and another 1st down.
And number 53, Capone Brown, the reason there was able to be that big of a hole, severely over-attacked on that play, was in the backfield and just watched the runner go by him. I'm sure when they go back and look at film, it's going to be something that Coach Klein points out. He's got to sit down on that outside and wait for that play to come to him.
From the Ram 24, 7th play of the possession, 1st down and 10. Give again to the tailback. Straight ahead running. Shepard filling up that hole. And that was Schwartz on that carry. Chance Schwartz, 21 carries for 168 yards. No gain on that one. 2nd down and 10. He is the workhorse for this offense. From that Ram 24, 11-19 on a running 4th quarter clock, 48-21. Shepard out in front. The Rams held a 35-21 lead at the half. Ocker ready to go out of that pistol formation. Taking that snap and hold on. Penalty marker down, and they did not get the snap off in time. The play clock striking 0. Looking back, that will be the 2nd penalty that will be whistled against Lock Haven in this 2nd half. So they have now been penalized 3 times for 28 yards as that delay penalty moves them back 5.
Man, I'm trying to think on the season so far. Have we seen a team that has gone to a conventional huddle between plays?
Maybe on a play here or there, but certainly not on a regular basis.
Yeah, that is becoming foreign in college football.
Second down and 15, and a quarterback keeper running to the left will eventually get a penalty marker down. There was a hold clearly in the backfield as Ocker got outside the numbers and took it down to about the 23-yard line, but this one coming back.
Yeah, I believe they're going to get that one on number 53.
Yeah.
So that one going to go on Isaiah Clark, the offensive lineman, and that one, even from as far away as we are, clear as day.
Yeah, you could see it. So they should move it back from the original line of scrimmage, so it comes back to the 39-yard line, and instead of a 2nd and 15, now becomes a 2nd and 25. So a long way to go for this Lock Haven offense right now, down 48-21, under 10.5 minutes on a running fourth quarter clock. Ocker out of the gun. The freshman quarterback takes the snap, sits in the pocket, now runs forward, breaks the tackle, and then gets taken down by Frankie Stevens at the 31. So a pickup of 8 yards. So still brings up third down and very long, about 17, what they'll need for a first down. But right now it's two-down territory, down 48-21 where they are on the field.
And the redshirt freshman from Reisterstown, Frankie Stevens, having himself in a whale of a ball game so far. Again, not all those numbers are going to show up in those final stats, but watching him all day on the defensive side of the football, he has had his helmet around the ball on more plays than not.
On third down and 17, Ocker to throw, lofts it to the far sideline where the catch is made. A little wheel route getting it to his man out of the backfield, and that is Schwartz, who will make that catch and get the first down.
And that was just a difference in speed right there. I just gave Frankie Brown a compliment, but in that case, you just saw the difference in speed between those two players in that wheel route and just trying to catch up. Frankie Stevens, rather, not Brown.
On a first down and 10 with the football at the 11-yard line. Back to the ground game for Lock Haven. Schwartz on the carry, going to move it down to the 6, a gain of 5 yards. They can get a first down without getting into the end zone. Second down and 5 coming. Now 111 passing yards for Ocker. He's unofficially 6 of 10. And how about 173 rushing yards on 22 carries for their top tailback, Chance Schwartz. On second down and 5, a back to each side of the quarterback. A give to the man to the left, moving over top of the right side of the line. Looked like Graham on that carry, yeah. Number 26. So Dante Graham taking that one to the 3. So a gain of 3 brings up third down and 2 on the 12th play of this possession.
Zane Gee having to come out of the game. His helmet came off, so he'll be out for a minimum of 1 play. The offensive linemen are going to have to take a seat.
Clock continues to wind, 8:14 and counting in this one. Man in motion. They fake the give. Ocker coming near side, throws it into the end zone, and there is a wide open receiver. Somebody for the Rams completely lost Cameron Avalos, and he makes the catch for the 3-yard touchdown.
Yeah, in the area it was Justin Cole, the corner, number 44, David Eppert, the linebacker, and I'm not sure whether that was a man-to-man that somebody just didn't pick up on, or whether that was a zone, and just one of those gaps in the zone that nobody realized and nobody adjusted over. But a great play on both ends, and Gage Ocker doing a great job on that touchdown drive.
Do you know what we finally have, sir?
A passing touchdown in this ball game. Haven't seen that one yet.
First on the season for Ocker, first touchdown catch for Avalos, and the extra point up and good for Charles Hayes. 8:04 remaining in this one. We'll step aside a 60-second break with Shepherd's lead at 48-28.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Drive summary for Lock Haven, 12 plays, 80 yards, 6 minutes, 56 seconds, 3 yards, the touchdown pass going from Gage Ocker to his wideout Cameron Avalos. First touchdown catch and first touchdown pass for that pair. By the way, on the extra point attempt, personal foul on Shepard. So the Rams now upwards of 7 penalties for 86 yards in this one. And that means the kickoff coming from the midfield stripe, and that one will go line drive into the back and out of the back of the end zone. And with 8:04 left in this one, Shepard will take over. They'll have it at their own 25-yard line. This will be just the third possession of this second half, Matt, as the Rams' first possession went 9 plays, 39 yards, 4 minutes, 19 seconds, and a field goal. Their last possession took 6 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock, 11 more plays, as they again kicked a field goal. Add in a couple of lengthy drives for Lock Haven, and it's been limited possessions in the second half.
We're going to see what the Shepard offense does on this drive. 8:04 left in this ball game, and were they on their football field, I think it gives them a great opportunity from the 25-yard line to have another long drive. We've seen a couple of them here in the second half, really virtually none in that first half, and see if they can hold the football pretty close when that clock's going to hit zeros.
Etchison out of the gun, stepping into a deep throw down the middle, has an open receiver, and the grab is made. Going down after making that catch at about the 28-yard line is going to be Dudney.
Sterling Dudney making the catch, and hey, we've talked about it all year, and apparently the trend going to continue even without Tyson Bagent behind center. Just the amount of receivers that can make big plays and be reliable on this Shepard Ram football team. Dudney, a name you haven't called much this year. Looking at his total stats on the year, 4 receptions total in the season so far for 63 yards. And he just shows his speed right there, just running a route right up the middle, and a great throw by Etchison, hitting him right on the money.
Yeah, close to 48 yards on that one. And now Etchison forced out of the pocket, rolling to his right, sprinting towards the pylon. He's in! It's a Shepard University Ram touchdown, 28 yards on the carry for the quarterback, Christian Etchison.
Good job by Etchison. Standard read option play, and we've yet to see Etchison keep a football on that play in today's game. And they really haven't run that play at all. It's been standard handoffs to the running backs, and a good job by Atchison really feeding that into the gut of the running back and pulling it just at the last minute, and really it wasn't even close to being touched as he scampered into the end zone.
So a 47-yard pass completion, quickly followed up by a 28-yard touchdown run, and the Rams add to the lead. Extra point for Hayden August Scriven, up and good. 7 minutes, 16 seconds to play in this one, a 60-second break, and then we return to Hubert Jack Stadium with Shepard leading Lock Haven 55-28.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
We all know what a good time looks like, but what is it made of? We can think of a few things. In this case, it's handcrafted food to gather around, an ever-changing variety of wine, and a Friday night. Do yourself a favor. Experience the good in a good time.
The ensuing kickoff from Hayden August Scriven. Nice deep kick along the near side that's going to bounce into the end zone. It will go out of bounds on the near sideline. It's a touchback. Lock Haven will have it at their own 25-yard line. Thanks to our sponsors, including our title sponsor, Smallwood Small Insurance, also Mike Folk for Governor, Green Tree Realty, Joe Ferretti Law Office, Mirius Group, and Ameriprise Financial, Panhandle Dumpsters, and Hagerstown Ford. Last drive for the Rams, 2 plays, 75 yards. Took him just 48 seconds, 28 yards on the TD run for Etchison. He now has 8 carries for 42 yards.
And to go along with some other pretty short drives that they've scored today, Deontay Glover, the first touchdown of the game for Shepherd, tied at 7, just 13 seconds. A 1 minute and 45-second drive, a punt return for a touchdown. So that's a quick score. So Shepherd has been gashing the Lock Haven defense / special teams quickly a lot in this football game.
We have an official's timeout before Lock Haven can run their next play. It would be 1st and 10 from their own 25 after that kickoff. The play clocks are down to zeros, and I think that might be a question coming from the sideline as to how that was set. Now they are going to call the delay of game. So, yep, they're going to tell them, hey, we set it the way we needed to. That will be a delay of game penalty -5, and that will make it a 1st and 15 now from their own 20, and certainly not what this Lock Haven team was looking for in starting this drive. Unofficially 5 penalties for 43 yards called against the Bald Eagles. On 1st down, the handoff goes to Graham. Graham going to move that football for a gain of about 3. So from their own 23, a 2nd down and a 12. Graham up to 14 yards on 6 carries. Hawker out of the gun, taking that shotgun snap, throwing deep along the near side. That's a jump ball and going to be intercepted by a Ram defender. That's a 2-8. That's Terrell Lindsay. He's a 5'9 defensive back, a sophomore out of Clinton, Maryland, and he's got the INT for what will be the 4th turnover of the day for Lock Haven.
And Lindsley's first interception of the year so far here in Game 5, and a ball that was severely underthrown by quarterback Gage Ocker, and a easy interception before Lindsey just had to really wait for that football to get to him. Didn't have to make a phenomenal play on it. It was coming right towards him. Just had to square his body up and make sure he watched it all the way in, and did a great job doing that. Ram football.
From their own 46, and you can only imagine the goal here, run the football with a 55-28 lead and only 6.5, or a little better than 6.5 minutes left. They'll go back to the ground game with a handoff to Ronnie Brown, gobbled up in the backfield, taken down for a loss of about a yard on the play. One of the big fellas up front, that's 79, Joe Turek, who brings him down. 6'2", 270, a freshman out of Armagh, Pennsylvania. So they will give him a gain. This possession actually started, I said, at the 46, at the Ram 47. So that was a gain of 1 out to the 48. So 2nd down and 9 coming. Brown up to 80 yards on 10 carries. He'll take the handoff again, turns the corner on this left side and goes out of bounds. He'll mark his progress, it looks like, at about the 45 in Lock Haven territory. So the gain good for 7.
Good job by the point left guard, Eric Ostro, coming around and leading the way for Ronnie Brown on that gain. And it's almost like you have to have 2 separate sets of running plays, because Brown's that guy that wants to bounce it outside. Whereas we see for the most part, Hebron and Glover are between the tackles. So it's got to be a unique mindset for Ty Hyatt and Ernie McCook on that sideline to try to figure out what run plays you got to run depending on which running back is in the football game. Under 6 minutes, 5:36, and counting here in the 4th quarter, 55-28, the Rams ahead.
3rd down and 2, and the handoff again to Ronnie Brown. Slips through a hole, gets hit and taken down, but he does have the 1st down as he'll get it to about the 42. That's a 3-yard gain. And the Rams now just 4 of 9 on 3rd down conversions today.
Rams came into this game a smidge underneath 50%, 25 for 52 on the season. So right about where that average is, actually.
If they can get Ronnie Brown about 10 more yards before the time runs out, Shepherd could have 2 100-yard rushers today after not having 100-yard rusher through the first 4 games.
After only having 100-yard rushing game as a team through the first 4 games, here's that give to Brown right up the middle. Good cutback move by Ronnie Brown.
And then steps over top of a couple of defenders and the pile to pick up 2 more yards down to the 38-yard line. He ends up picking up about 4 yards. I think he ran about 20 to get there.
I'm not sure. His legs may have run about 20 yards to get there, and you mentioned the hurdle and all that. I'm not sure those legs are running much when his feet were actually on the ground. He is exciting to watch when he gets the football.
He is. So second down, a long 6, short 7, depending on how you want to look at it. Give again to Brown, pushes forward behind that line, moving to the 36 for a pickup of about 3. We'll call it a third down, and that's 3rd and 4 as they set the sticks on that far side.
Under 4 minutes to play now here in the ball game. 3:56 and counting on a 4th quarter clock. Shepherd going to advance in this one, barring a absolutely unheard of comeback. And they're going to advance to 3-2, while Lockhaven is going to fall to 1-4.
Yeah, Lockhaven will suffer that 4th straight setback for the Rams. They will put a win in the win column before heading home for 4 of their final 6 games. Here comes the pressure. The line holds up, and the pass over the middle off the hands of the intended target. That was Jordan Washington they were trying to get it to. And with the incompletion, Shepherd 4 of 10 on 3rd down conversions. And the clock stops with 3:26 left. It looks like the punting unit's coming on.
And Matt, following the punt, I hate to bring this stat up, but Lockhaven does hold a record that I feel does need to be brought up here in this football game. Again, it's not necessarily a good one, but something that you got to bring up is just one of those fun facts of program history. So I'll give you that one after this punt.
Well, let's see what Ram punter Noah Pohl can do. He's put 8 out inside the 20-yard line this season. Pops that one straight up in the air. Fair catch being called for, and that fair catch will be made at about the 14-yard line. And that fair catch for Cameron Abelos, who's been one of their key returners, both punts and kicks.
Lockhaven, just mentioned, going to drop to 1-4 on the season. Going back the last couple years, since 2010, the most wins they've had in the season is 4, and that was back in 2016 when they went 4-7. Matt, this Lockhaven Bald Eagle team holds the record for longest losing streak in Division II history. That's 52 games from 2007 to 2012.
Hocker on the play-action pass gives a little pitch out in front of him, trying to get that one to one of his backs out of the backfield, but Dante Graham was not expecting the ball. He was turning upfield to block. It's incomplete. So with the incompletion, it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 from their own 14-yard line. That's a huge hole as a program to try to dig out of that you just spoke of.
And you mentioned earlier in this game, as we'll talk about this after this play.
And they go back to the ground game. No place to go for the tailback, who bounced it to his left and then gets taken down on the play. And that looks to be a 46, I believe, on the carry. So getting some new faces out there.
I don't think so, Matt.
And Nakazi Terry, 40.
Defensive back. Could make that transition.
Well,
from this angle, I'm trusting the binoculars.
Couldn't tell you. Either way, I know that it was a loss of 2 yards. So mark it back to about the 12-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 12. Hocker rolling here to the near side, throwing that pass, tipped and then intercepted, picked off along the near side, making his way to about the 10-yard line with that INT for the Rams is DeJuan Anthony, a 6-foot, 170-pound redshirt freshman out of Glen Allen, Virginia. He's got his first pick as a Ram. Turnover number 5 for Lockhaven.
And just it's going from a good first quarter and even some glimpses of a good play here in the second half, but I think you're slowly starting to see the pure athleticism of Shepherd and the weapons they have, not only offensively but defensively. And as this game's gone on, that's become more and more prevalent, as they could very well make this a 60-plus point game.
See what the Rams do. 1st and 10 from the 11 of the Bald Eagles. Etchison out of the gun. Looks like Hebron will be behind him in that pistol formation. Give is to Hebron. Started left, cuts right. He's into the end zone. An easy run for Hebron. Very well blocked by that Ram front line to give him the cut back lane.
Yeah, it's snaking the entire way there. Started to the left, cut back to the right, then went right up the middle. A bunch of cutback lanes wherever he wanted them on that run, and it will be a 60-point offensive day for Shepherd, or I guess I should say 60-point team day for Shepherd. Again, a defensive touchdown and a special teams touchdown. 14 of those 61, possibly 62 points, PAT pending.
Hebron with his second rushing touchdown of the day. Takes this one in from 11 yards out. Snap, placement, kick, and the extra point for Hayden August Scriven. It is up and it is through. And with 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining on this Thursday night, we'll take a 30-second break with the Rams in front now, 62-28.
Is your dog driving you nuts? Does he have behavioral issues? Is she not listening? It doesn't have to stay that way forever. Hi, I'm Julie.
And I'm Josh. We own and operate Julie's Canine Academy, a family dog training business.
You are not alone, and there is hope for you and your dog. With the right training and right approach, we can help with any problem. We provide total off-leash training on our 6 acres of dog paradise in Falling Waters. Visit juliescanineacademy.com. That's Julie's, K with the number 9, academy.com.
Any dog, any breed, any problem.
The Shepherd Rams able to take advantage of the 5th turnover of the evening for Lock Haven. Set up with great field position. Took just one play in all of 6 seconds for Ty Hebron to find pay dirt. Shepherd pushes that lead out to 62-28. And how tough has it been for Lock Haven? 48, 77, 63, and now tonight 62 points that's been allowed in this 4-game losing streak. Ensuing kickoff. Going to chase Sabalos to the goal line. He's going to bring it out. Gets to the 10, stops, and cuts to his right. Gets across the 15 and slips through a tackle before stepping out of bounds right around the 20-yard line.
And that's a good return by Abalos, considering he was still backpedaling into the end zone when he got that football and started to work upfield. So getting out to the 19.5, 20-yard line, a decent return. And saw some good moves by Abalos getting up to the 20-yard line.
Looks like Graham, who's going to come out and line up in a tailback position. Waiting to see who's moving in at quarterback. That looks to be an 18. That is Zachary Rex, a redshirt sophomore from Medford, New Jersey. And Rex is going to hand that one off. And Graham, looking for some running room, bounces around and eventually moves forward for a pickup of maybe a yard.
And he got about 3 more plays in this ball game. If Lock Haven does it the way they should, and 62-28, I think both teams realize this game is pretty well set in stone. This is going to be the final score. So if Lock Haven plays that play clock right, should only be a couple more plays in this ball game, and they'll be able to end the game with the football.
Rex awaiting that snap. Looks to the near sideline. That game clock winding at 1:26, and the play clock winding down under 5. There is the snap back. Handoff to the tailback. Bouncing off the pile, moving out close to the 25-yard line. Gain of close to 5 yards. Waiting to see who comes up. That's Graham, who had the carry, and Barry, the former Jefferson Cougar, with the tackle.
1 minute now on the clock here in the 4th quarter, so under a minute now on a running 4th quarter clock. And this should be the last play of the ball game. Now 17 seconds, 15 seconds now on that play clock. So one more run, and that should wrap up this one from Hubert Jack Stadium.
We'll take a 2-minute timeout at the end of the game, come back and get into our post-game show. Handoff on the 3rd down and 5, and the gain looks like it's going to be for roughly 4 yards. And I believe that's Graham again on that carry, and it is. And that should be the final play in this one. Clock continues to wind. Nope, they're going to go ahead and line it up quickly on a 4th down and 1 from their own 29-yard line. Handoff going to Graham. He'll get to the line, and he does get the first down. So there you go. He's able to get to the 30-yard line, maybe even slightly across that 30. We'll give him 2 yards out to that 32. I would have that as the first time that this team has attempted a fourth down tonight, so they're 1 for 1 on fourth downs, and they pick up the first down, but the clock winds down, and we have struck zeros. This one in the books. Your final score, the Shepherd Rams 62 and Lock Haven 28. Back after this 2-minute timeout as we get into our post-game show, brought to you by our title sponsor, Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution. They're at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 south in Chambersburg.
For over 36 years, Green Tree Realty has been helping the Shepherdstown community find a place to call home. Our friendly team is ready to help you navigate the market and is your trusted resource, complete with a wealth of experience and local knowledge. For those looking to buy land, commercial property, or a home, we'll help you find the perfect fit. From staging and negotiations to closing and beyond, we're with you every step of the way.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood and Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
It's the post-game show as we recap the scoring, bring you stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV 10 broadcast team.
We welcome you back in to Hubert Jack Stadium. We're on the campus of Lock Haven University in Pennsylvania, getting into our Smallwood Small Insurance post-game show. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Caleb Falero at the studio. Special thanks to Eric Sterick and John Alderton working in the rainy conditions outside tonight to bring us this TV 10 coverage. Well, Matt, as we take a look at the scoring in this one, the Rams held the lead going into the locker room at the half, 35-21. It was Lock Haven scoring first on a 6-yard touchdown run from Gage Ocker. Deontay Glover followed with a 75-yard TD run for the Rams. We were tied at 7. Chance Swartz had an 87-yard touchdown run to put Lock Haven back out in front, 14-7. But then the Rams putting together a nice drive to get a 1-yard touchdown run from Ty Hebron, tied the score at 14. Zane Lewis, a 67-yard punt return. That's got to be our electrifying play of the game, because that turned the tide in this one, because it gave the Rams their first lead at 21-14, and they never looked back after that.
The way the running game has gone this year, my vote is a 75-yard run for Deontay Glover.
Okay.
That set the tone. 13 seconds, one play, first offensive play of the game.
Tied it up.
What does Deontay Glover do? Go 75 yards. Haven't seen that kind of explosion yet this year from the Ram offense. I love a kick return for a touchdown as much as the next man, or a punt return in this case. And it was a great one by Zane Lewis, not taking anything away from him, because it was a great return. The way he started on this near side of the field and worked his way back to the far side, right up the sideline. Great return. But my vote is the 75-yard run by Deontay Glover.
Hey, just like there's a great selection of appliances at Orsini's, we had a great selection tonight. You choose one, I choose one, and together they're the electrifying plays of the game, brought to you by Orsini's Appliance in Martinsburg, offering top names in kitchen and laundry appliances like Amana, Maytag, Jenn-Air, KitchenAid, and Whirlpool. And for you grill masters, check out their great selection of Traeger wood-fired grills. Find out more online at Orsinis.com. PANHANDLE.com. All right, so the Rams with the punt return have a 21-14 lead. A Deontay Glover 1-yard touchdown run put Shepherd in front, 28-14. And folks, that was just the end of quarter number one. In the second quarter, Ronnie Brown with a 6-yard touchdown run gave Shepherd a 35-14 lead, and then Chance Schwartz a 1-yard TD run for Lock Haven cut the deficit to 35-21. That's where we stood at the half. In quarter number three, a couple of lengthy drives for Shepherd and a pair of field goals, 34 yards for Hayden August Scriven and 23 yards. In between that, Antonio Fox recovered a fumble and took it in from 6 yards out, and so that meant it was a 48-21 lead for Shepherd going into quarter number four. And then it was Gage Ocker hitting Cameron Abelas for the only touchdown pass of the day, as Lock Haven got a score to make it 48-28, but Shepherd added the final two scores of the night as Christian Etchison went in from 27 yards out and Ty Hebron from 11 yards out. And, well, the Rams run away with this one literally and figuratively, 62-28.
Yeah, if you had told me that the first start-to-finish 60 minutes of football the Rams would play all season long, offensively, defensively, was going to be on a short week in rainy conditions on a Thursday night, and they would be starting a true freshman backup quarterback, I'd have said you were nuts. But we saw it for the first time this season. That was a start to finish. A gritty, good, executed, great game by the Shepherd Rams. Obviously, the passing yards overall in the season are going to dip this week a bit, but that's to be expected when you don't have one of the nation's best quarterbacks under center. But overall as a team, this truly was the best performance we've seen from Shepherd this year, and hopefully this gives them momentum going into the back half of their season, because, Matt, you blink and we're at the halfway point of this Division II season.
Well, let's take a timeout, a 90-second break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up our portion of the Smallwood Small Insurance post-game show. Smallwood Small, your total insurance solution. They're at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Phone them at 304-263-3361. We'll come back, run the numbers from this one, and we'll tell you what the schedule looks like coming up on Saturday around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, and check in on the only other Division II football game going on across the country tonight. And by the way, it's from the Rams' old league, the Mountain East Conference. All of that and more as we wrap up the post-game show. When we come back, your final in this one, it is Shepherd 62, Lock Haven 28.
Screwdriver.
Screwdriver.
Pliers.
Pliers.
Phone.
Care can be distracting.
Phone.
That's why our Whirlpool Smart Range lets you care smarter with control from anywhere. So life doesn't revolve around your range.
Give me that Phillips screwdriver. What'd you get open?
Every day, care.
I think I'll keep you around.
Whirlpool.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood and Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
All right, we are back one final time here at Hubert Jack Stadium in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. Time for us to first take a look at some of the numbers from this one, and I'll start with the team totals. Matt will give you some individuals. And how about the rushing game tonight for the Rams? Matt, you said in the beginning of the program, in our keys to the game during the pregame, hey, the Rams have to run the football tonight and take the pressure off of a freshman quarterback getting the start in place of the injured Tyson Bagent. How about 40 carries for 340 rushing yards in this one? I've got to grab my stat sheet quickly and take a look. But the Rams coming in had 322 net rushing yards through their first 4 games, and tonight had 340.
It's a good way to double your season totals in one game. And again, it was bound to happen at some point.
Yes.
There's too much talent and upperclassmen on that offensive line and in the backfield. You knew this was going to happen. It happens to good teams all the time. It's just that one facet of the game that struggles for a portion of the season. So you knew it was going to happen, and I think it's a case where they needed one game to truly get it going, and then they realize, hey, we can do this. This is going to happen. This isn't going to be our Achilles heel this year. So hopefully they can keep that going the rest of the season. But a great day on the ground.
The Rams had 20 first downs to Lock Haven's 21. We mentioned Shepherd's 340 rushing yards. Hey, Lock Haven had 262 yards on 50 carries. Lock Haven 114 passing yards. The Rams 137. So total plays 57 for Shepherd for 477 yards, 64 for Lock Haven for 376 yards. What I tell you earlier at halftime, we had a chance for a 900-yard game. Didn't quite get there, but how about 853 yards between the two teams combined?
I'll take that.
Not bad at all, as they say. Penalties, 7 for 79 yards for Shepherd, 5 for 43 for Lock Haven. Time of possession, Lock Haven wins that battle, 34 minutes, 16 seconds to the Rams, 25-44. But Shepherd had, obviously, some big scoring plays, including that punt return touchdown. Lock Haven, 9 of 13 on third down conversions, 1 of 1 on fourth down. Shepherd, 4 of 10 on third down conversions, 1 of 2 on fourth down conversions. And both teams solid in the red zone. Shepherd, 6 for 6 in scoring chances in the red zone, and Lock Haven went 3 for 3. Matt, some individual numbers.
Some individual numbers starting with the visiting Shepherd University Rams. Throwing the football, Christian Etchinson, the true freshman, in for injured quarterback Tyson Bajan, getting his first collegiate start. And he did what I'm sure Ty Hyatt and Ernie McCook asked him to do. This was obviously going to be an adjusted game plan a bit. It was going to be heavy on the run, and not a lot was going to be asked of Etchinson. But what was asked of him, I believe he stepped up and did a fantastic job in this ball game. Finished 10 for 17, 137 yards. Didn't throw a touchdown, but also didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
That is the big key, is he did not turn the ball over.
And on a wet, sloppy night.
And some of his favorite receivers on the day, Dylan Brewer, 3 catches, 40 yards. Jordan Washington, 2 receptions for 33 yards. Those were a majority just those quick little misdirection runs out of the backfield, if you will. And then Sterling Dudney, a 1 catch for 48 yards. That long one down the seam late in the second half. Rodney Dorsey also added a reception for 6 yards. Running the football for Shepherd in this one, 127 yards on the ground on 12 carries for Deontay Glover. Ronnie Brown falling 4 yards short of a 100-yard game. He had 96 yards on 14 carries. He found the end zone once. Deontay Glover found the end zone twice. Etchison ran the ball for 46 yards on 7 carries. He also added the touchdown. And Ty Hebron, a good game, rushing 27 yards on 5 carries. He added 2 scores as well. Those are your final individual numbers for Shepherd. For Lock Haven passing, Gage Ocker, 7 for 14, 2 interceptions on the day, 114 yards, 1 touchdown. His receivers, Jalen Jackson, you knew he was going to be good coming in. The guy averaging about 88 yards a game. He had 3 receptions for 64 yards. Chance Schwartz, the running back, really the only other guy doing anything out of the backfield and doing anything receiving-wise, 2 receptions for 34 yards. Rushing the football was Chance Schwartz, having 173 yards. So how many times in a college football game, Matt, do you look at a 172-yard game and that's not the leading rusher? Not often. The 2 leading rushers for each team had 172 and 173. Chance Schwartz is going to be the leading rusher in today's game with 173.
I think Glover
yards.
will take his 172 in the win.
I think he'll sleep perfectly fine tonight. Gage Ocker ran the ball 15 times for 63 yards, and Dante Graham, 10 carries for 25 yards. Those are your final individual stats and team stats from this one. Again, Shepherd improving to 3-2, Lock Haven 1-4.
And more importantly, 1-1 now in the PSAC East for the Rams, 0-2 for Lock Haven. Final game stats brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors Phil McCoy and John Everson. Give them a call with your financial questions at 304-263-4343 or stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Time for us to name the Hagerstown Ford player of the game. Have fun with this one, but I know where it's going. Deontay Glover, 172 yards.
Yeah, you don't rush for 172 yards and not get the player of the game. That's just disrespectful. But an honor that could go to a lot of different places in the game tonight.
And an honorable mention for the quarterback. Atchison in that first start really came in.
Doing what he needed to do and just basically manage the offense, not be the offense.
Player of the game brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, changing the car buying experience. Find out more online at fordofhagerstown.com or stop by 1714 Massey Boulevard or phone 301-329-6109. All right, we wrap up the Smallwood Small Insurance post-game show by seeing what else is going on in Division II football tonight, and we look ahead to the PSAC schedule for Saturday.
Well, starting with the schedule Saturday, then we'll round out with the game going on right now to close things out. On Saturday, Millersville is at East Stroudsburg, 12 noon kick. Edinburgh at Gannon. Again, that'll be a noon kick, and the only other 12 o'clock kick on the day is number 13, Slippery Rock at Mercyhurst. The 1 o'clock game, the lone 1 o'clock game is number 15, Westchester at Shippensburg, and a couple of 2 o'clock games to close things out. Number 25, Kutztown at Bloomsburg, Seton Hill at Clarion, and Cal U at number 21, IUP. Really looking forward to seeing the final in that Cal U IUP game, Matt.
Yeah, anxious to see how that one plays out. I could see the upset when you look at the rivalry between those two teams.
And looking at the scores from this one, I'm going to have to look something up real quick. This is still saying it's in the first quarter, and I want to see what's going on between Glenville and Fairmont State. So, Matt, quit juggling and do your little song and dance over there.
That's what you wanted me to do, right? I'll do some juggling until you are able to get things in line. The thing I'll talk about is the fact that for the Rams, look, I know they're not exactly where they wanted to be. I mean, this is a team that could easily be off to a 5-0 start as opposed to 3 wins and 2 losses through their first 5 games. But with a win like this tonight and an opportunity to continue to push forward, the Rams have 4 of their next 6 games at home. Shippensburg and Westchester back-to-back, then at Millersville, then home for East Stroudsburg, then at Bloomsburg, and at home for Seton Hill to close out the regular season. So still a lot of great opportunities for the Rams to make their move and climb the ladder in the PSAC East.
Third quarter, Glenville State over Fairmont State 15-8. That game just getting into the second half.
There you go. That's a look at what's going on tonight, a look at what's coming up on Saturday, and we wrap things up with what's coming up for us this weekend, and that's a weekend off. We'll enjoy some other college football and other activities and then be back on the air the 12th of October when Shippensburg comes to town. The renewal, I hope, of the Great Valley Classic. Will they get that old trophy back out and begin to pass it back and forth again? We'll find out. That game time is 12 noon at Ram Stadium, and that means our pregame will begin at 11:30 in the morning. Well, thanks again to our sponsor supporting our coverage of Ram football. We thank you for joining us on TV 10. Thanks to Sports Information Director Doug Spatafor, all the staff and the folks here at the Hubert Jackett Stadium facility for their help, their hospitality with our broadcast and telecast coverage here today. We do say thank you to Caleb Falero back at the studio, and a great job tonight in some rainy conditions for Eric Sterick and John Alderton running our on-site production and our TV camera work. Great job, guys. For Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller, reminding you our final score in this one here tonight. The Shepherd Rams get the victory at Lock Haven 62-28. Until next time, so long, everyone.
You've been watching play-by-play coverage of NCAA Division II football featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's telecast has been brought to you by Hagerstown Ford. We deliver to your home. FordofHagerstown.com. Panhandle Dumpsters, because you have a choice. PanhandleDumpsters.com. The Marius Group. Start planning for a brilliant future. The Joe Ferretti Law Office in downtown Martinsburg, delivering first-rate service and results for our clients. Green Tree Realty, a great place to call home. Jackie Lewis Broker, GreenTreeRealty.com. Mike Folk for Governor, accountable, ethical, responsible, Folk4WV.com. And by Smallwood and Small, an Erie affiliate, Total Insurance Solutions. TV 10 Sports thanks you for watching today's presentation of Shepherd University Rams football. All rights reserved.